jìnnà sí wọn bí sánmọ̀ sílẹ̀ o ara ló ń ta wọn ṣe mọ́ o náà bá sunkún sójú bẹ̀rẹ̀ má ti fi gbé sọ kó fẹ́ yẹ ẹyẹ kó lọ ìgbé sọnù sígbó wọn dúró títí ọwọ́ wọn ò tó ìṣó máa ṣe ta ní kókó ṣòkòtò tí olókùn ó dá kìtìyàn ó dórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. ṣì mí lọ́nà o mo tẹríba fàdàgbà o àgbà ẹ foríjì ni ojoojúmọ́ ni mo ń pọ́n wọn lé mo ń ṣèyá sí àwọn àgbà o mi ò fojú tí rìn wọn láyé ọmọdé ẹ má fàgbà ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́ torí oníkọ́ tó yẹ ọlá ni ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o màmá ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Máa ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà. Bọ́lájú kòkòrò bá gbẹ́ran nígbó tó bá fúnra ẹ̀ pín ló dára jù o. Kọ̀wé mi á jẹ́ dàgbà o. Èyí mo rí màrò ẹ̀fọ́ gbogbo náà ní ilé ayé. Sùúrù ní ṣẹ́gun ohun gbogbo. Ẹ má ṣèké mo ní ẹ má dalẹ̀. Forí orí kìlọ̀ ló jẹ́ ẹ̀yin forí wọ́rí yìí yóò sábà mọ́ àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé o. nílé ayé o. àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé. àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé. àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé. dẹ́bìtọ̀ rẹ̀ àtàrà ilé o. àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé. àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé. àwa ò ní sábà. Ṣòkòtò wọn múra wọn sáré kẹrù sọkọ o àyàn ọmọ ògbóògùn o wọn ò béèrè lọ́wọ́ orí orí lọmọ mẹ́wàá lọ ìyàwó ohun tí ẹ wá lọ sí Ṣòkòtò ohun rẹ lápò Ṣòkòtò mo sọ àkúnlẹ̀yàn ọmọ ẹ̀dá láyé kò lè yí padà mo ń tẹnu mọ́ o olórí làlá bàrò orí làlá bàrò olórí mi níjà o. olórí lálàbàrò. lálàbàrò. olórí lálàbàrò. oríjà jogun ìkànnì wọn rí má fi wá fáyé mu nílé ayé wa o. olúwa àgbẹ̀ wa níyà o. àmì nílé ayé wa. ó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ọ̀tá kọ́ ni wá. ó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ọ̀tá kọ́ lẹ́yìn. ṣọ́wa nínú àpamọ́ kìnìún. ejò olóró akéèké ṣọ́wa nínú ìdàgìrì ayé dáàbò ẹ̀bùn wá fi ṣọ́rẹ́ ṣọ́wa o mo sáàdì ọba bá lókè o mo sáàdì ọba bá lókè o mo sáàdì ọba bá lókè mo máa sáàdì.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? It was no more complex than a matter of pressing some wrong something on the. Oh, all right. Hopefully you can't hear me. Um, Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Bosun. So hopefully you can hear me. So good day to you. Good to be in your company and all that. Good day to you. Good to be in your company. Still at this. Well, how many years are we into this now? We're over 4 years into this, and I still can't master simply just pressing an audio something. But there it is, a convergent. Is that what they call a convergent? Is that the terminology? All right. Okay, what are we doing now? All right, good day to you. Good to be in your company and all that. Good day to you. Good to be in your company and all that. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, good to see you. Speed video. One of these days, I speculate as to some of the personalities that join us. Like this gentleman, for instance, speed video. He joins us with some frequency. So you just see him. He makes all these comments, and then you speculate as to who he is, what his life is, what it sounds like, etc., etc. We've known, a lot of these characters. We've known them for years on end, and they pass you on the street, like one of these chaps. He lives not too far from me. I think is that Amuri Israel. He lives not too far from me. He tells me he sees me in the shops every so often, and he will never say hello, and he will pass me by. I would not be able to recognize him, of course. So sometimes you speculate as to some of the personalities that join us on some of these things. But good day to you. Good to be in your company and all that. Good day to you. Good to be in your company. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have lift off. I think that's the phraseology that they said when they picked up. No, ladies and gentlemen, we got him was what they said when they picked up Osama bin Laden. But we sadly have lift off. The elections is now fully up and running. So that's that one. So the elections is now fully up and running. Oh no, that's too much. And that's too little. All right, let's leave it like that. So the elections is now fully up and running. We have kickoff. The campaign is now officially launched off, so people can start campaigning now, which is to tell you then that the whole of Nigeria will be agog with all matters politics up from now all the way till we hear the declaration of a new president. So when I say we hear the declaration of a new president, that doesn't necessarily mean Tinubu will be replaced. It may be replaced, but the declaration of a new president is to tell you that the administration, the term of this particular administration has come to an end and another new term starts. So with that new term starting, if Tinubu is returned, he's still a new president, even if it's an ongoing president. So we have the elections launch off now. So everybody is at the starters block. But who is going to chest that finishing line first? That is where the conversation is now. So from now up all the way to January the 16th, you will hear relentless campaigning. There'll be all manners of all sort of things said. There'll be falsehood. There'll be falsehood circulated. There'll be all manner. People will lose their temper. Names will be called. All manners of things will happen. But ultimately, the culmination of all that is the declaration in the second quarter. It'll be the third quarter, isn't it? So the first quarter will be. So it will be in the third quarter, wouldn't it? So round about the 17th, the 18th, thereabout, the INEC would have done whatever it is they need to do to make the announcement of who your president will be all the way to 2031. So Tinubu is the man to beat at the moment. So, and I don't think there's any controversy around that. Tinubu is the man to beat, is the incumbent president, is the front runner, and all of the permutations permutate. In fact, if you look at all of the data that tells you how that election to go, people, they give Tinubu as high as a 70 to 75% chance of return. They give Peter Obi round about a 20%, and then Atiku also round about 10-15%. They even rate Atiku slightly, they even rate Peter Obi slightly higher than Atiku, but Tinubu is the overwhelming. And this is the number crunchers crunching the numbers to arrive at this. This is not even my own speculative thought. So my own speculative thought also aligns with that Tinubu would be returned, but also the numbers and the indicators tell us that Tinubu will be returned. So that's going to form the body of this conversation. Tinubu will be returned because Tinubu holds that position already. So for anybody else to take it to become president, they have to wrestle that position out of his hands, and that would be a Herculean task, a formidable task. It will take some heavy lifting. It will take a real godlike might to wrestle that power, especially as it's indicated he has no intentions of giving it up. So it will. You have to move heaven and earth to wrestle that power from him. And I don't think there's any controversy in that. So what would you have to do? They say, oh, Tinubu will rig his way back. They tell you that, oh, the election is between the Nigerians and Tinubu and all of that. And already we're back in the regurgitation of the school certificate. Do you know that they are going to rerun the drug narrative? Oh, the Americans are about to publish another drug detail too. So they're still doing all that. So I don't see, I don't see where the narrative is that removes, because it looks as though these people are bereft of ideas. Well, clearly they are. It doesn't even look as though they patently, clearly are bereft of ideas. There's no function. Imagine 4 years on, we're back to, oh, do you remember we legislated all of this, by the way? We legislated all of this as early as 4 years ago. Remember the fervency and the potency of it in that 2023. Oh, Tinubu is from Guinea. We don't know his mother. He's a drug dealer. We did endless reams all over social media, going through line by line of Tinubu's case in the United States. We did it on this platform. We went to the archives, went to the American thing. We dug out details. Who did it? It was Fatai, wasn't it? It was Fatai that went to dig out all of the details of that particular case. And it took us painstaking for a whole week, line by line. We did all that. We did all that. And then they are doing Tinubu's primary school certificate. They are doing Tinubu's secondary school certificate. Now they are telling us how many times have the Americans how many times are they going to publish the details of the drug, whatever it is, or not? So so that is to tell you that the opposition space, they are bereft of ideas. So if they are going to use the same narrative that they lost so woefully on in 2023, then really, what reasons does Tinubu have to be concerned? So completely bereft of ideas. No, I'm not quite sure. I seem to have something. Maybe I'm coming down with something. I'm always coming down with something. So I just don't know. So, but the one thing is the elections have officially kicked off. The campaigning should start campaigning now. But hopefully we'll hear something new from the opposition space. If it's going to be a narrative around certificates and drug dealing, then that I personally will be disappointed, because I want a bit more verve. I want a bit more, give us something new, But I'm not sure. They're just totally bereft of ideas. Atiku has gone to court. Atiku has gone to court insisting that INEC has to publish Tinubu's primary and secondary school certificates. So INEC is telling him that Tinubu submitted only a university certificate. So they can't compel him to submit a primary secondary school certificate when the law doesn't compel that. So that's where Atiku is, and the Peter Obi space, they are chasing drugs in America as they were in 2023. So that is the sum total of what is going on in the political space. So it's just unfortunate, but it looks as though it's not even will Tinubu win anymore. It's the margin of victory that's more the narrative. It's the margin of victory. Let's start it off with this one. Let's start it off with this one. Actually, let's kick it off. Sorry, have I invited you to? Have I? Pardon me, I'm all over the place today, but hopefully I get into the swing of it. Have I invited you to like and subscribe? If I haven't invited you to like and subscribe, please like and subscribe. But let's start it off, kick it off with this one. So we'll just go through it randomly. I came across this one. You see, there's a lot of all these podcasts all over the Nigerian social media space. I don't really pay any attention to them because I always consider most of them as a bunch of brainless half-wits. But I came across this particular clip from a particular podcast and I was completely blown away by the intelligence of the guy doing the interviewing. So after this interview, after this clip now that I'm about to play you, it'll be impossible for Kenneth Okonkwo to show his face in public again. So let's start it off with this one. It's not so much the beatification. It was it's not so much the beatification, but the beasting of Kenneth Okonkwo. So this is where Kenneth Okonkwo's career finishes in Nigerian politics. It's only 2 minutes, but at these 2 minutes completely ends Kenneth Okonkwo as a political figure. Tell me if you can hear the audio in the comment section.
The name of the person is Caleb Westberg. Made the deposition on behalf of Chicago State University. That's the certificate that Tinubu purportedly presented to INEC did not emanate from them. And in court, we couldn't even produce our own form EC8A. We couldn't even produce the evidence.
Sorry, can you hear the audio in the comment section? Okay, all right, the volume. All right, you probably need to increase the volume where you are because it's at the highest where I am. But this is the nail in the coffin of Kenneth Okonkwo as a political entity in Nigeria. So here it is.
The name of the person is Caleb Westberg. Made the deposition on behalf of Chicago State University. That's the certificate that Tinubu purportedly presented to INEC did not emanate from them. And in court, we couldn't even produce our own form EC8A. We couldn't even produce the evidence. Atiku Abubakar is the only person now that stands the chance to defeat Tinubu.
So you're saying that it's better to rally around a man who has lost almost 6 times?
There was your formulation answer.
I'm asking you.
It doesn't make sense.
Are you sure it doesn't make sense? Or because you to contradict what you say? You say that the reason why you like Atiku is because he's playing an inclusive politics.
Yes.
In October 2022, on channel television, he said that Atiku's Kaduna comment, where he was telling the Northerners not to vote for a Yoruba or Igbo candidate, was a genocidal statement and called for INEC to prosecute him under Section 97 of the Electoral Act. Which one is it? When you say he should be prosecuted for dividing the country,
The duty of the opposition is to watch closely what the other person has said and use it for your own advantage.
so in 2022, when you made this statement, you were just playing politics. How should we know that what you're saying in 2026 now is not also you playing politics?
First,
and there it is right there. And that is the end of Kenneth Okonkwo as a political actor right there. You see, that's the problem that these people will always suffer. We had it a little bit with we had it with Festus Kiyamo. We had it with Reno Mokri. Now we're having it with Kenneth Okonkwo. Kenneth Okonkwo in a previous incarnation, just as early as no more than 3 years ago, he said that Atiku Abubakar is so divisive a figure that it should be prosecuted and struck off by INEC. So why did Kenneth Okonkwo say that? Because Atiku Abubakar then he went to the north and told the northerners not to vote for Tinubu or not to vote for an Igbo man or a Yoruba man, because those ones would not serve their best interest. And Kenneth Okonkwo then described that statement as not only divisive, but genocidal, to the point that he was inviting that Atiku Abubakar then should be struck off the electoral register and prosecuted by the authorities. That was what this Kenneth Okonkwo now, that was what he was saying about Atiku Abubakar as early as 2023. Fast forward 3 years later, this same Kenneth Okonkwo now is telling us now that Atiku Abubakar is the most unifying of all of the candidates being presented and is the one that will bring the country together. So the presenter, the interviewer, he then asked him that, you said this in 2023. So why did you say that? So Kenneth Okonkwo told him then that, look, in politics, you use whatever is most potent to attack your opposition. So it's telling him then that in 2023, when he was telling us that Atiku Abubakar was a divisive genocidal figure who does not mean well for this country and should be locked up, he's telling us now that when he said those things in 2023, that is politics. So the young man then asked him that, okay, you said that so fervently now, and if you had believed you and acted on it in those times, now you are telling us it's just politics now. So why should we believe that what you are now telling us about this same Atiku Abubakar, which is a complete volte-face from what you said previously, why should we believe that this is not also politics? And that is the end of Solomon Grundy. And at that moment, Kenneth Okonkwo ceases to be a political actor and turns into a clown. So the ending of Kenneth Okonkwo's political career happens in a 1 minute, 20-second cameo. Watch it again. Now you have the explanation. Watch it again.
The name of the person is Caleb Westberg. Made the deposition on behalf of Chicago State University. That's the certificate that Tinubu purportedly presented to INEC did not emanate from them. And in court, we couldn't even produce our own form EC8A. We couldn't even produce the evidence. Atiku Abubakar is the only person now that stands the chance to defeat Tinubu.
So you're saying that it's better to rally around a man who has lost almost 6 times.
That's your formulation answer.
I'm asking you.
It doesn't make sense.
Are you sure it doesn't make sense? Or because it contradicts what you say? You say that the reason why you like Atiku is because he's playing an inclusive politics.
Yes.
In October 2022, on channel television, he said that Atiku's Kaduna comment, where he was telling northerners not to vote for a Yoruba or Igbo candidate, was a genocidal statement and called for INEC to prosecute him under Section 97 of the Electoral Act. Which one is it? When you say he should be prosecuted for dividing the country,
The duty of the opposition is to watch closely what the other person has said and use it for your own advantage.
so in 2022, when you made this statement, you were
Yes.
just playing politics. How should we know that what you're saying in 2026 now is not also you playing politics?
First and foremost,
So bam, like they say in Nigeria, bam. And with that question right there, that young guy, he ends the career. Nobody can take him seriously after that. You know, because this is the thing. Now, these people forget they have a body of work. Like Peter will be telling us that it's for human capital development, it's for education and evolving people through learning and all of that. This was the same guy that told them in Anambra State when he was governor that education is not for the poor. That's on record. You know, we have all the data, we have the audio, we have the print. When he was telling his own indigents, he increased the tuition fee at the local university by 300%. And when the people were railing against that, he retorted to them that education is not for the poor. This is the now guy is the champion of the oppressed. So these people sometimes forget that they have a body of work that can be used as reference. So still in that spirit of inane funk, Let me show you something that is equally as funky as Kenneth Okonkwo. So in this now next clip that we're about to engage with, let me set the scene. This is one of the Obi characters from the Southeast, and is interacting with the Minister of Finance, Taiwo Oyedele, and is trying to poo-poo, is trying to disparage, diminish the NEL funds. So that's the background to all of this. And if you want to listen to what listen to the question already embeds, is a self-defeating question anyway that the guy is asking. Already embedded in that question is the answer that defeats it. But listen to how the guy phrases the question, and then listen to how Taiwo Oyedele mocks him. So let's engage with this one.
Morning, well done. Morning, Honorable Minister, good morning, well done. My name is Basi Udo. I work for Media TrackNet Nigeria. I'm not here to contest the data that you've given, but I know that I have 3 children in the university, and I'm not aware they have called me to tell me that they have received any loan, NEL fund loan, and none of their classmates have even indicated so.
All right. So already, even in the way he's crafting that question, it's a self-defeating question. He's saying his student has not called him to tell him that they have received any NEL fund loan. But then, of course, the loans are not given automatically. You have to apply for it. So is it as his student told him that they've applied for the NEL fund loan and they were denied it, which is a different question? Or are they sitting at home expecting somebody to come and knock on their door and hand them money, which is a totally ludicrous thing? So he says he has three children in university. None of them have told him they are collecting NEL fund loans. Has any of them applied and denied? Because that's a different narrative. So this is the thing with that obedience space. You know, just no cranial function, everything just brainless. It's just crude, rudimentary, brutish. You know, they just want to use Nzobo on anything.
Honorable Minister, good morning. Well done. My name is Basi Udo. I work for Media TrackNet Nigeria. I'm not here to contest the data that you've given, but I know that I have 3 children in the university, and I'm not aware they have called me to tell me that they have received any loan, NEL fund loan, and none of their classmates have even indicated so. So if we have 1.8 million graduates in Nigerian universities and my 3 children don't have it, who does? And when is mine coming? But the question I have to ask has to do with the trip that Mr. President made to the UK in March. And when he came back, he told us that Nigeria has secured a 746 million pounds financing deal for ports. Several months after, we are still unaware of the details of the terms of that deal. Some people are even questioning that that deal did not pass through any due process. People like the former Vice President of World Bank, Obi Ezekwesili, is asking for the cancellation of that contract because it appears to benefit British companies. Hold on, sir. British companies more than Nigerians. So please, sir, are you aware of the details of this deal? And what's your reaction about the call for the cancellation of the deal? Thank you, sir.
The second question is from Bas Udo. And as you were asking that question, I was smiling. He said he has 3 children in school, and none of them has received NEL fund. They are not even aware of any friend of theirs who has received it. Something is just telling me in my mind that you need to ask your children to be honest with you. It is possible they've collected the money and they are collecting from you. If there's anything that everyone can attest to, it is this NEL fund. We've seen video of students randomly rejoicing Because it's not only the tuition that was being paid, they get monthly stipend, interest-free, in a high inflationary environment. It's like grants. 1.5 million. You can go to the website. In fact, what you can do, ask any of those your 3 children to give you their details. Help them apply. If you can't find the link, come to Ministry of Finance. We will help you. You will do it yourself. You apply for one of those 3 children and you get the amount. So you can go and ask them what they have been doing. Okay, so the Honorable Minister is saying we should even ask you whether they've shown you the evidence that they applied. You need to go and ask them. This is a very serious matter. You know, even in my personal capacity, I have one small foundation that I use to support indigent students to go to school. And many of them were still coming to me after NEFA and saying,
You know, it's just it goes back to my opening monologue. It's just like the obedience space are completely bereft of ideas. There's no functional thinking in that space at all. Even the ones that have all of the veneer of having somewhat of a brain, even the ones that look at this guy now, it looks of a certain age and he speaks like he has a certain level of education. But he's actually taking his question from the noise from Twitter, etc., etc. Look at that question. Just listen to that question. It says he has three children in university. None of them have told him that they've collected NEL funds, and neither have any of their friends, which is a lie, of course. But the question is, have your children applied for the NEL funds? Or does he think that they just hand it out automatically? How does he think it works? And we've had so many testimonials from the beneficiaries of that space that it just calls to ridicule. He ridicules himself by asking that sort of a question. But then it's an unthinking question. It's just a question called from the standardized noise that they make within their space, and then they bring it into the mainstream. How can a full-grown adult tell us that his children have not told him that they got NEL funds, and therefore the NEL fund doesn't exist? Do you know that within the obedience space, they're still going around telling each other that the Lagos-Calabar Superhighway, it doesn't exist, that what we're seeing is AI? This is what they're still doing now. And and next time they announce the election results, they tell you that they were rigged. Can you imagine that sort of a question from a full-grown adult? The student have not told him that they collected NEL funds. Have they applied? Were they rejected? What are the details of that application? Did you ask them those questions? You know, just some sort of brainless nonsense.
go and apply. I sent link to them. Within 2 weeks, they said we got alerts. You know, interestingly, the uptake is more in the north than in the south, because we spend all our energy here doubting everything that government does. Okay, so anyway, I'll leave it at that. The other question Basi raised is with respect to the bilateral arrangements, visits by Mr. President to the UK, as part of which we had this deal about the port. And his question is interesting because he's wondering whether that passed through due process. The details are not made available. Yet, in the same breath, he said the benefit is more to the UK than Nigeria. Like, if you didn't see the details, how are you able to tell that it benefits UK? I'm just curious. I have this tendency to be curious. Interestingly, we still had a conversation on this just this morning, before this meeting. Again, there's nothing wrong in finding the person with money to help you solve a problem that you have in a way that that project is self-financing, right? Imagine you take $1 billion to develop your port, and that port generates value of more than 1 billion. Why are we always antagonizing government policies? And sometimes the reason why I put it this way is the way you ask the question can tell what's in your mind. You are not just asking questions, you are concluding. So from what I know, it's possible that some people know more than me. This is a win-win deal between the UK and Nigeria. So when the project starts, you will see it physically there in the port. Even the UK will not do audio arrangements. At least if you don't trust us enough, maybe you can trust the UK.
For the MPA, for instance, we all know how the condition of the ports are in Lagos, and that's a gateway into Nigeria. A major, Tinkan and Apapa, those are major ports, gateway into Nigeria. I think if we are rehabilitating them, it is for the good of Nigeria, for commerce, for revenue, and for everything. We should put those into account when we're making comments on some borrowings, particularly when they're project tied like that. Thank you.
In fact, the rehabilitation of the Tinkan Island is an Igbo project. If you want to really go to the granular level of understanding, the rehabilitation of the Tinkan Island port is an Igbo project. Who occupies the container economic space more than the Southeasterners? So, and they're the ones who are always belly aching the most about everything. So that's that one. Let me play you one more clip, and then I'll send the link, by the way. If anybody wants to come up. I'd like the conversation around the election kicking off officially. So if anybody wants to come up to speak on that, come speak on that. So let's watch this clip with Festus Keyamo.
The president has approved $500 million, not money borrowed, from his sweat, from the sweat of the savings of the country to rebuild the hub, the airport in Lagos. $500 million. That's the investment. And it is turning that airport that is 50 years old to a marvelous hub. You'll be very proud of what you see in Lagos in the next 22 months. That's the kind of attention that the president has paid to the airport in Lagos State. We're also planning to extend the rail line that ends at Ikeja bus stop. We are working with the Lagos State government to extend that rail line all the way to the GAT, the local, all the way through Bicotney, and all the way to the international airport. That rail line is about to start, is the extension of the rail line.
You know, the one thing that there are many things that I applaud Tinubu for, but one of the things that I applaud him for the most is that he's timing a lot of his, in fact, all of his big projects, is timing them to end within his 8-year administration. So now the rehabilitation, the refurbishment, it's not even the rehabilitation, it's almost a total rebuild, because when Festus Keyamo was describing the Muritala Mohammed International Intervention, the international airport, he told us that they will gut the airport just to the pillars. So they will take everything down with only the pillars holding up a skeletal structure, and then they'll totally rebuild. So it's a total rebuild, but then they are going to do it within a 22-month period. So the start and finish of that rebuild will still fall within the Tinubu 8-year term. And that is how you see all of these projects. That's why he started the Lagos-Calabar Superhighway quickly, because he knows that he needs to complete it within an 8-year term. Lagos, Sokoto, Badagry, etc., he wants to finish all of these projects within this, because we have this long history of project abandonment. And as soon as Tinubu leaves office, all of those projects get abandoned, no matter what level of completion they are at. So and that is one of the things that he's noted and famous for. So that's that one right there. Oh, all right, let me go to a lot of these ones. Some of these ones I'll just give you the headlines, etc. 2027, Segun Showunmi declares total support for Tinubu. So is that not an anti-party activity? Is that not an anti-party activity? Is the question? All these adverts. So 2027, Segun Showunmi declares total support for Tinubu. I thought it was a PDP stalwart, a PDP chieftain, a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Segun Showunmi, has declared his support for the second term re-election bid of President Bola Tinubu. Our correspondents report that Showunmi made the public declaration on Wednesday during a Politics Today interview on Channels Television. While he maintained that he has not decamped from the PDP, he insisted that Nigeria must build its democracy around its peculiarities. The former, I think we even have him on clip, do we? The former spokesperson of ex-President Atiku Abubakar, who broke into song of praise for Tinubu during the program, insisted that his decision was not based on any monetary inducement, but on the conviction that President Tinubu is the right person to lead Nigeria. So here is Segun Showunmi right here. So let's see if we can get it from here.
History, this is the longest reign of civil rule. But ironically, from the build-up going towards 2027, I think this is the most important and incidental election of all the elections we've had in the past.
Why so?
Very good. The energy level, the rhetorics, what is at stake, the balance of the country is a bit on the high side. So I found myself singing a song when I knew I was going to come to you today. It's a Yoruba song, but I think you will like it. I said, I was calling the name of the president in our Yoruba language. And I said, Ọlọ́run tó lẹ́rù abá ẹgbẹ́ Àkànbí. Ọlọ́run tó lẹ́rù abá ẹgbẹ́. Ọlọ́run tó lẹ́rù ló lòṣùká. Ọlọ́run tó lẹ́rù abá. Because so much is at stake.
Invariably, you will tell you in that song, if I may interpret for our viewers who don't speak Yoruba language, you are saying to Bola Tinubu that God will help him to sail through this journey, and this burden, he will be able to carry it successfully.
Do you know why?
Is that not sacrificing?
No, that can it be when I'm praying that the whole thing should work well. Listen.
All of a sudden,
one second.
You are,
if the election,
for Bola
just listen, I've not even started. I'm going to campaign for him. Everybody knows
really?
that. Yeah. Just hold on.
Have you been insulted?
By who?
Bola Tinubu.
You see, it's an insult on me to even think I've been sorted. If it is sorted, I know where money is and I know how to get it. I'm just too passionate about the direction I see the country go. But I don't want us to get it. We'll come into
No, because the question now.
Let me just tell you why
you were an Atiku man.
That's a long time
Yes,
ago.
I know.
I backed him 2 elections back to back.
The last time I checked, you're seeing PDP.
Have I ever told you I've left?
But you are campaigning for APC.
Listen now, are you not aware that every nation will plan their democracy around their circumstance? The circumstance of the Nigerian nation that you see being about Rainbow Coalition, people being sympathetic to the president and other, including the Wiki and co, is based on only one principle. How do we balance the democracy of Nigeria in an environment where the demography, that means the way population is growing in each of the zones, is different? It therefore follows that for us to have a modicum of predictability and stability, we must walk along the principle of the pendulum. The reason is that if we don't do that, we will then be victims of where the numbers are. Now, if we become the victims of where the numbers are now, then how long can we go before it becomes extremely offensive? So for us to balance it, General Sani Abacha of blessed memory, it was not exactly silly when he created 6 geopolitical zones. It was because it is clear to anybody who loves the country that how do you balance the technicality and the intricacies.
So there it is right there. Segun Showunmi, no surprise to anyone, declares for Tinubu. I think he actually made that declaration first on this platform about 18 months ago, thereabout, when he came to visit us. So that's that. Tinubu approves transfer of EFCC-recorded funds to students' loan scheme. So this is that Robin Hood thing. I'm not quite sure that anybody can quibble with this. Tinubu approves transfer of EFCC-recovered funds to students' loan scheme. I think this is the second time this has happened, actually. And I especially want them to transfer the 212 billion naira that they recovered from Abubakar Malami into that students' loan scheme as well. So that should complete that cycle. President Bola Tinubu has ordered the transfer of eligible cash recovered by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, to help the agency meet its growing financial obligations to Nigerian students. Correspondents report that the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, disclosed this on Wednesday while speaking with State House correspondents after the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja. So that's that one right there. I'm not quite sure that anybody quibbles with that. So this one now, you know, I've always said that there's going to be a reckoning for these excesses that we're seeing from the obedience space. I've always said there's going to be a reckoning, especially the excesses we're seeing in Yoruba land, and the beginning of that reckoning starts. Lagos declares Thursday work-free for Isheshe Day celebration. So Isheshe Day is essentially a Yoruba day. So this is Lagos State doubling down now on its Yoruba ethnicity. Lagos declares Thursday work-free for Isheshe Day celebration. This is a direct riposte to that excess of certain elements calling Lagos no man's land. The Lagos State government has declared Thursday, August the 20th, 2026, work-free for the celebration of this year's Isheshe Day. In a statement issued by the Special Advisor to the Government on Tourism, whatever his name is, on Wednesday, the Isheshe Festival was described as an expression of Yoruba traditions and spirituality. To ensure Lagosians and tourists get an unforgettable experience during the celebration, the Lagos State government has declared the day a work-free day for public servants, political appointees, and others, Aragbe said. He noted that about 3 million residents will gather for the traditional worship and celebration, adding that the Yoruba tribe is one of Africa's largest ethnic nations with more than 55 million people globally. According to him, adhering to the culture and tradition over the years has sustained the Isheshe festivals in Cuba, Brazil, and the Caribbean, where many Yorubas live aside from Africa to this day. When the drums sound in Lagos on Thursday, they answer the drums in Havana, in Salvador, in Port of Spain. 55 million people and counting. Lagos is not observing a local holiday. Lagos is standing at the center of a global heritage. Isheshe Day marks the culmination of a full week of traditional activities and has been observed as a work-free day in Lagos since 2023, following a request from the Lagos State Council of Obas and Chiefs. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has upheld this every year in line with the administration's commitment to indigenous values and religious inclusiveness under the themes and agenda. So I wonder now, so this is an invitation then to all other ethnic composition in Lagos State to come and insist that they want to have an Igbo Day in Lagos. So how you quite explain that is so that's the challenge right there. So Lagos doubles down on his ethnicity, on his tribal stock. So it's left there. Maybe the Kanuris will go to Alausa and go and knock on Sanwo-Olu's door and say, we want to have a Kanuri Day in Lagos. So let's see how that pans out. So that's a direct riposte to that Lagos is no man's land something. U.S. court orders FBI, DEA to release files on Nigeria's President Tinubu by August the 21st. So this is the obedient space still very much chasing their tails as they have been since 2022. So so we'll see how that plays out. So we are going to do drug dealer for another 2-3 weeks. That's what that tells us. Tinubu government finally gives breakdown of fuel subsidy removal savings. So this is what reading. Let's go through this one at speed. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration has finally unveiled a breakdown of the 15.8 trillion naira in savings from the fuel subsidy removal and gains of other reforms over the last 3 years. Minister of Finance Taiwo Oyedele disclosed this at a press conference monitored by correspondents on Wednesday, giving a detailed breakdown of the administration's subsidy removal reforms. According to Oyedele, the reforms resulted in 15.8 trillion naira in savings that accrued to the Federation account. He noted that the savings from fuel subsidy removal were shared amongst the federal government, states, and local governments. According to him, the federal government received 5.43 trillion, whilst the state received 6.52 trillion, and local governments received 3.88 trillion from the fuel subsidy removal savings. This is well worth noting. Actually, I think I'm going to bookmark this. I'm going to bookmark this article because no doubt we will revisit this copiously in the course of conversations to come. Because even with this explanation, because these people they don't know how to evolve a conversation, or they don't know how to develop an argument. They'll still be saying, "What has it done with the fuel subsidy? So they're giving you a breakdown now. About approximately 15 point something trillion naira, the savings from the fuel subsidy. The federal space got 5.4, the states got 6.5, the local governments got 3.8 trillion from the subsidy. So really, if you want to ask what happened to the subsidy money, the bulk of it went to, in fact, out of 15 trillion, 10 trillion went to the states, because the local governments are also still embedded within the state. So if you want to know what happened to the fuel subsidy, then go and ask your state governor, because the government handed the money to them. According to him, the federal government received 5.43 trillion naira, whilst the state received 6.52 trillion naira, and local governments received 3.8 trillion naira from the fuel subsidy removal. Oyedele explained that the reforms also generated 3.12 trillion naira in other incremental revenues and 11.8 trillion naira in incremental borrowings. As a result, the federal government has approximately 20 trillion in incremental resources during the period under review. However, he noted that additional expenditures incurred by the government during the same period amounted to approximately 30.6 trillion naira. The federal government had approximately 20.4 trillion naira in incremental resources. Over the same period, additional expenditures amounted to approximately 30.6 trillion naira. Our subsidy removals, therefore, did not create one large pool of cash available to the federal government. It reduced a major fiscal burden and the amount of additional borrowing that would have otherwise have to have been required, he stated. He added that of the 30.64 trillion naira in expenditure, 9.39 was spent on wage adjustments, 9.37 on external debt servicing, 6.47 trillion on infrastructure, and 3.14 trillion on electricity subsidies. Recall that in May and June 2023, President Tinubu, so that's but of course, they will still continue to labor. So you can then go into the minutiae of the details. So don't ask what happened to the monies anymore. You can ask for a further breakdown, which they're obliged to provide you, but they've given you now the broad strokes of how the fuel subsidy removal savings was disbursed. 2027, why I won't travel around with Peter Obi. This is the bandit in hijab, according to Baba, jumping ship, jumping the sinking ship. 2027, why I won't travel around with Peter Obi. This is Aisha Yesufu. Oh, all right. A chieftain of the National Democratic Congress NDC, Aisha Yesufu, has revealed that she would not be traveling around the country with the party's presidential candidate Peter Obi, as she did during the 2023 presidential race. Correspondents report that Yesufu revealed this in a video shared on her official X account, reflecting on her involvement in the 2023 presidential campaign. Yesufu said her major objective was to help Nigerians understand that Obi's candidacy was not based on ethnicity or religion. She explained that she wanted voters to see Obi as a candidate who represented Nigerians across different backgrounds. According to her, the campaign succeeded in changing the perception of many Nigerians who initially believed Obi had little chance of winning the election. Yesufu said several people who were initially skeptical about his prospects eventually became convinced of his ability to mount a strong challenge. So she's taking all the credits then for whatever it is that Peter Obi imagines he achieved in 2023. However, she said her priority going into the 2027 election will be to ensure that Nigerians who intend to support Obi are properly mobilized and their votes are protected from the polling units through to the coalition center. Yesufu, I'm not quite sure what that means actually, but that sounds like abandoning ship to me. But good luck to her. She's made her money, so why not? Our court spent 40 billion naira on Osun elections. This is Fayose countering Davido. Let's do this one quickly. Former Ekiti State Governor and Chairman of Rural Electrification Agency, Ayodele Fayose, has countered Afrobeat star David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, over allegations of massive vote buying during the August 15th Osun State governorship election, claiming that the Accord Party, which produced the winner Ademola Adeleke, spent at least 40 billion naira on the polls. Fayose also alleged that more than 7.5 billion naira was distributed across local governments and wards shortly before the elections, suggesting that the two leading political parties deployed substantial financial resources in the contest. Fayose made the claim in a video interview with TVC posted on the journalist handle on Wednesday. His comment came against the backdrop of Davido's allegation that the All Progressive Congress APC spent as much as 110 billion naira on vote buying during the elections. Davido, so I don't know, man. It's just they're all thieves anyway. So I'm not quite sure that there are no winners in Osun State, only losers, and the biggest losers are the indigents. They have to suffer a day dancer for another 4 years. So you lie on your bed as you make it. Is that not how the phrase goes? Months after U.S. listed Nigeria as emerging lithium source, China-backed firm targets the country's projects with 240,000 ton trial mine. So Nigeria is a land of blessing. Anyway, there's nothing we have gold in abundance. We have gas. We have the 5th largest gas reserves globally. We have the top 3 largest lithium reserves. We have emerald. So if we have the most arable land known to mankind outside of the Congo. So I'm not quite sure that country, man. that's if you're looking for God's own country, I suspect it is Nigeria. So that's the battle for lithium in Nigeria now taking shape. 2026 Isheshe Day, Lagos declares Thursday work-free as residents celebrate Yoruba heritage. So I'm waiting for what the Southeasterners will have to say about that. That they don't want Yoruba people celebrating Isheshe Day in Lagos. So that's that. Let me send the link to the studio. If anybody wants to come in. That's all I've got. But the main hub of the conversation is that the elections have officially kicked off. So if you want to come and give us your thoughts, that's the link in the comment section right there. Let me play you the Kegite music. We take it from there.
Only water, where they see ma. Water, only water, where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ilé sọ́dí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Hobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Chief Faila ti kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòde ojàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Olúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodame ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodunke ẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run méjìkọ. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
And it is right there. Ikuko Niru Agbeshi may just have nothing to do with us. Joining us, Baba, to the rescue. Otherwise, I'd have built. Good to see you, Baba. Hopefully, you're there. Baba, how far?
I'm determined to catch you today, pin you down. So I'm glad I did. How are you?
I'm good. Good to
I
have you
hope your
here.
week is going well.
We thank God. I do
Great. So I don't have co-panelists yet. I know they will come. Most particularly Bishop and AI. I look forward to seeing them. And to my friends in the commentariat, Lupim, I think King Jin Young or Young Jin, and AB is here after a long while, Agbadorian and Indomitable Pansats. So, woman, I'm excited. I'm excited for Nigeria. I mean, a lot of things are happening. A lot of things are happening. And people don't want to acknowledge it. I don't know why. But we will keep on highlighting those good things that are happening to Nigeria. And that's why I've come to the logical conclusion that only those who have accepted poverty as a life sentence will say they are poor in this present state. Because as we speak, people are buying brand new cars, people are building houses, businesses are being created, and it's a good time to be a Nigerian, honestly. It's a good time to be a Nigerian because you are challenged. If you don't have a beggar attitude, you are challenged. It's a green land. Burrow into it. Take your picks, jiggers, and all the shovels. Go find something to do and make money. Do you know last year alone, one man, Nigeria exported over 12.6 trillion of goods. That's about $8 billion for exports.
You know, Baba, it is my belief that a good 60% of Nigeria's economic activity is still not fully captured. There's a lot that just goes on that is not documented or taxed, or I think a lot.
No, I don't know. They just live in a cocoon. You understand? I will tell you, I will confess to you, one man. I'm a victim also. I have not tapped into these buzz activities. That is a stock market in Nigeria, because I was stung many, many years ago. If you remember that free fall during Dangote, this thing, I don't want to go into there. Even my children in university then, they lost money. They lost money. I still, the Nigerian in me is like still looking and saying, this thing, will it last? You understand? And I think that's why a lot of people are still looking from afar. Some looking in askance that, can we really pull this off? But it is happening, one man. We exported over 8 billion goods to about 281 products. 281 products to 120 countries. Can you believe that? We exported to 281 countries. 120 countries, 281 products, including ginger, cocoa, cassava, lithium, gold, and most of them are finished products. Between Indorama and Dangote, they are the two highest exporter of urea and fertilizer in Africa, to Brazil and to America. So this is why they've been wondering that where are we getting the dollars from? Elumelu came out to say, look, foreign exchange is no more a problem. Our foreign reserve today stands at 52 billion. 52, these are foundation for prosperity. We never had it like this before. We just been walking to the answer, cutting corners. They can't figure out things. This man came and took a road less traveled. He took a road less traveled. He could come and still tread the normal wide road. He didn't do that. He put shoulder to wheel and is building. Even the gold, we are processing our gold before exporting them, not just the raw dust thing. The lithium, how many factories even do we have alone in Nasarawa? How many factories in Nasarawa alone for lithium? I think about 3. If people can fact check me on that. And here we are, they say nothing is happening. The third largest manufacturer in Africa. Somebody is telling me production to Kinikon. You get my point. That's why I say I am excited. And they don't even know what is going on in the cyberspace. We have just 35 kilometers of optic fiber. Now they are laying 91,000. 91,000. So that our high speed will be enhanced. The other time we are putting our cloud this thing in France, people are questioning it. I still support that. But that France could be using their own, our own facilities to store their data. Because it's safe not to put your egg in one basket. So nations will be using our facilities for safety, even though they have capacity. We too will be putting our things there. There will be, imagine this fiber optics thing, once it starts, they finished it. There will be telemedicine activities going on. The doctors who are afraid of rural area need not go again. all you do is do FaceTime with your patient. You could be in Lagos, and the other person could be in Kauran and Modia, and you'll be attending to your patients. So these are the things I'm excited about. You understand? They came and they're always lamenting and saying a lot of things. I think it's just they are being dishonest. We should give this man his flowers. Should give him his flowers. And do you know that the refineries now, the new ones, Ezekiel.
Sorry, Baba. Give me about 5 minutes. You got our bishop and Apansat with you. So
Yeah, Ezekiel is in Bayelsa. That's a new refinery. We have Aradel in River State. The Dangote is there, the real big one. Edo refineries, they are doing very well. And the one in Imo, what's that one now? In Imo. They all are fitted with reformers. They are not just doing AGO and urea and all the rest. They are putting and they are also putting out PMS. The old refineries, Warri and Port Harcourt, are now being taken over by a Chinese consortium. We are not spending one dime. It's like that car in my garage, it's been there for 10 years, it's not working. Oh, I can take it, I can repair it. I don't have cover to give you. I will repair it. Okay, fine. If you finish, you can use it for Uber and we'll be sharing the money. So they have 51%, the consortium, and Nigeria has 49%. So let them, it now becomes their headache. So let them do it. And we'll be watching and praying for them that if the Chinese can put these things together, can you imagine what happened with all of these refineries working in Nigeria? I'm not talking about consumption, I'm talking about exports, for which the government will be earning taxes. In July alone, FAC, 3 trillion. People like Atiku, they are dazed. They are asking, where is he getting the money? Come and do account for us. And I don't know why Taiwo Oyedele was talking about that corrupt subsidy. No, it's not. Subsidy was not an income. It wasn't an income. It's something a frivolous thing you do away with. It was corrupt. So they only just do smart mathematics trying to satisfy the naysayers. It was not an income. It wasn't an income. So from right, left, and center, this man is raking money and putting it back into the system according to the law. These development commission are in the 6 zones. They share money for them also. So if your zone is not doing well, go and find out from your chairman, the development commission, like the Southeast did to the other young man who was Akpabio's aide, former Dr. Something, whom they gave, I think, 150 billion or what, as takeoff for Southeast Development Commission, and he couldn't account for it. He was renting one room in Abuja for 150 million a year. So if you misuse your funds for your state, it's your fault. This is a time to hold your governor, put his feet to fire. Leave Tinubu alone. Leave him alone. Go ask your governors what they are doing with all this money. They've all confessed that they receive huge money. They are all smiling. So if they don't know what to do with it, it's not the fault of Aso Rock. So this is my take for that one. I'll come back to the other ones like the Aisha Yusufu and the rest. Let me give other people other opportunity. And we're only 3, so let's keep to time. I did for 7 minutes. I yield one man.
All right. He may be busy, so I'll just take it up from here. Baba, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
And my brother Bishop, how are you?
I'm fine.
All right, good. Yeah, let's try to keep the time. Baba, you did very well. Now, let's, I believe that one of the topics that we are talking about is the U.S. court, the U.S. District Court in Washington, D.C. ordered the Department of Justice, FBI, and DEA to process and release records regarding the 1990s investigations involving the Jagaban. So Judge Barrow Howell set a compliance deadline for August 21. That's next week. And then 3 or 4 days, the judge did deny requests for extension by the U.S. authority. I think most people are familiar with Janine, used to be a judge herself. So the background of the case, obviously, everybody, we've talked about it. I believe this is a good thing to clear this up. So we'll know if Tinubu is innocent, he didn't do anything, open it up. I would support him. I would say, okay, he's cleared. We just want sunlight. It's a very powerful disinfectant. Let's see what's in those records. So the American transparency researcher Aaron Greenspan filed a Freedom of Information Act, what we have as acronym here as FOIA lawsuit. I believe we have equivalent stuff like that in Nigeria, Freedom of Information. So it challenged previous, what they call GLOMA responses. That's where the agencies refuse to confirm or deny records. So he challenged that. So the requests target historical U.S. files from 1990s investigation into Chicago-based heroin and narcotics network. That includes the famous 460,000 asset forfeiture that we talk about all the time, linked to accounts that were in Tinubu's name. Now we can, in the last campaign, we used to say, I used to say that he was criminally charged, but I've gotten more information, so I'm gonna be able to correct what I used to say then, that he was not criminally charged or indicted in that matter. So I hope others will take a page from my candor and fairness. I'm a fair guy. I have a lot of virtue, but the most cherished one is my fairness. I'm a fair guy. So in the ruling, Judge Howard dismissed the government's non-disclosure justification as implausible. So given Tinubu's status as head of state and public interest, the lifting of the block status of the files is in order right now. So I want most Nigerians to pay attention to this matter. Let's clear that up, because nobody wants a drug lord as president. Okay, let's clear that up. That will give him, if he wins with everything exposed, that will give him leeway to go and do his work. Because I believe that he's being, for one thing, grabbed by the balls to give away our oil wells and our oil and mess up our economy, because they're gonna, if he doesn't do it, they say we're gonna release the records, right? So that will clear things up for him. So I'm looking forward to that 21st, and maybe a day or two after that, we're gonna have all the records. Let's see if he was doing heroin, he was selling heroin in Chicago. So the next other thing that we talked about is not Rudolph Okonkwo, Kenneth Okonkwo and his ilk. They do a lot of propaganda, but Mehdi Hassan has shown how to deal with these corporates, right? We have a lot of them. One man named them all there. The latest one is Kenneth Okonkwo, who's an orator, he's a lawyer, he's an actor. So that is a caustic mixture right there. So this young journalist is able to use his words against him. Mehdi Hassan showed how to do that, and it was very effective. So I hope they'll be using that. I will expand on that as we go on. Then the other thing is the billionaire Aliko Dangote and Senate President Godswill Akpabio called Afrobeat star Davido to pressure him into deleting viral social media updates during the Osun state governorship election. So I wish Tunaja was here, because I've been telling him that one of the problems we have in that country is economic terrorism from Dangote. And so now we see that he's in that cabal, right? So he was pressuring Davido, who revealed the information during an exclusive interview with News Central TV.
Sorry, what's the source of that Dangote was pressuring?
Say that again.
What's
Davido himself.
Yeah.
He said Dangote was pressuring him.
Yeah.
Yes, together with Goswell Akpabio. So, and he refused, obviously. When Dangote, who he referred in that clip as Uncle Aliko, he boldly replied, "Uncle, I'm not deleting anything until INEC announces." So that pressure must have been really, really tight. You know what I'm saying? The PSI would be, I don't know, unbelievable for Davido to tell his uncle, "I'm not going to do it." So
your 7 minutes is up.
Is it really?
Yes.
Yeah, it's up.
Okay. All right. In the spirit of us doing what we said we're going to do, let me go ahead and yield back. I will come back to that. Thank you.
Good. Okay, Bishop, carry on.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, welcome, Woman. Just decided to proceed without you. So it's 2147 or 2148.
See, Woman, we are self-regulating.
Yeah, that's why I'm just keeping quiet. You know,
I just wanted to draw something.
I try to moderate as little as I should, as I can.
Yeah, taking 30 seconds of my time. Pansat, just to point out something, you just said here now, a minute ago, that you have realized, and in the spirit of whether candor, you are a very fair person, that you have discovered that Tinubu was not criminally indicted. Those are your words. And in another breath, almost immediately, you are saying that you want they will release the report to show that whether he was what do you call it now, a drug criminal. He was a drug lord. I mean, if somebody is a drug lord, is a criminal. If the court did not indict him criminally, that whatever happened was civil forfeiture, which they call misdemeanor or whatever. But just to point out that you cannot reprobate and appropriate at the same time. Maybe we'll get into that. Thank you. Thank you for bringing those clips, Woman. They really excite. I mean, I listened to all of them today. The Kenneth Okonkwo, you were spot on that. The man, Bassi, or whatever his name is, that was asking that question, I felt embarrassed on his behalf and on behalf of, you know, people that are actually journalists in the Nigerian media space. Because somebody could be so, I don't know the right words to describe him, about how, you know, he arrived at that because your 3 children. I bet you the man does not even have 1 child in the university. He just wanted an opportunity to ask a question, and he ended up embarrassing himself. It's not better than the 1 goat millionaire man that said he bought 1 goat and he became a trillionaire and he was investing in Eurobond when Eurobond was not even in existence then. So he got it all wrong. He got it all messed up. Yes, the real main issue, the election seasons are here. I really wish that we can really narrow ourselves to discussing issues, not to start on this pedestrian, pedantic, unserious, irrelevant argument of he had no certificate, he fell from heaven, he's a Guinean, he had drug condition, he did not go to Chicago State, he did not go to primary school, blah, 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 blah. I really, really wish I can beg that we concentrate on issues so that we can go and research, know where we were coming from, where we are, the precipice, how close we were to the premises just a couple of years ago. And now we can, you know, deepen our knowledge of trying to know more about our country. I listened to Seun Okinbaloye this afternoon, and I was excited by his second something. I mean, everything that Baba Ahmed said, of course, is very predictable. There are so many people that will come online. You can predict them. I mean, to the extent of, you can predict them verbatim and literatum. You can predict them word for word as to what they will say. And he never really disappointed. He just re-echoed what he's been saying all the time. The other guy came, Shegun Showubi, and was able to, you know, hit some right chords by my own reading. So if we are going to move forward, and I heard that my brother here told me that, by the way, Woman, sorry, I missed your call earlier on. I couldn't take it because I was in the middle of something. So my brother here told me that Atiku promised that he was going to reverse the fuel subsidy. You know, that should excite any interviewer, any online personality, to dig deeper, just like the young man that one man was talking about, the one car something, that car truth guy that was interviewing Kenneth Okonkwo. Obviously, you will see that he did his homework. He was able to press, he was able to, to push back, to ask him. And whether you like it or not, if you know how to read faces, the man was confounded. He was dumbfounded. That is Kenneth Okonkwo. Because sometimes we do these things and get away with
He
it.
was defeated now.
He was.
At that moment, you could see that he knew the game was up.
Exactly.
He knew he'd been exposed, yeah.
Absolutely. He was practically crestfallen, breathing, because he knew that you have been buried, you have been slaughtered by your own sword. The sword of what you call it, the harakiri. He ended up on his own sword. So for that, I think that is the direction we should go. All these are unnecessary. If we say you carry drugs tomorrow, these are just unnecessary things. We should elevate the quality of our.
Do you not think the Nigerian journalism is too compromised to be able to ask probing questions?
Unfortunately,
because who are the leading spaces there? We know that Rufai Hussein is compromised. We know where he leans. We know that Shehu Okinbaloye is too feeble and unintelligent. And then after that, we don't see enough of Maokwe Ogun anymore. So she's been packed to the upstairs, whatever. So there's nobody in the Nigerian journalist landscape that's probing, that penetrates any question and pushes. They're just. If we are saying somebody like Shehu Okinbaloye is one of our leading journalism, where Shehu Okinbaloye against somebody like Tai Sholari, we don't have journalism in that. And this young guy, he has exposed all of them.
Unfortunately, you are very correct. Sadly, and sadly so, you are very correct. And that's why in public fora such as this, we should be able to elevate the quality of our public discourse to move away from, something that we've been discussing since 1993, get certificate, a fall from heaven. What many people don't know is this: we allow emotions to be cloud our sense of judgment. Because we know the position of the law. We know a man. There's an incident that happened in America during the 9/11, and I will just use that one to round up because I know I have just 1 minute more, not minding the fact that my time was eating into, but I will be disciplined enough to do that. The man retired in the police. He was a very young man, and he filed that he sustained an injury during the 9/11. That he cannot use his hand to fire gun anymore and the rest. And he was granted the retirement with full benefit. The guy goes home with about $7,000 a month. But his hobby is shooting, going to hunt for animals. And it was just holiday because his salary is for life. He's on salary because he sustained injury in the line of duty. And people took him to court. And the question was that, look, you said you sustained an injury in the line of duty and you cannot fire gun. But we know that your hobby is shooting gun in hunting, and you go everywhere gallivanting everything, and the guy said, well, as far as he's concerned, he has not broken the law in any way. That was how he felt, and he defended himself, and they said, well, he has not broken the law because every law there are loopholes. If people take advantage of the loopholes in our laws and they were vindicated, they have not broken any law. I am not saying those things, these are there. If the law say, okay, this is what we expected of you, and because the one that caused a lot of controversy, I decided to leave it out so that I can move ahead. What the heck? Have I broken any law? So if we are going to concentrate, my appeal is just, if we are going to concentrate mainly on the real issue, let's leave emotions aside. If we truly love Nigeria, anybody that's going to take Nigeria, I remember somebody said some time ago, and none other than Baba's big uncle, the one that lives in Ota, the one that said that if he takes him to bring a Chinese to come and run some of our what do you call it now, our national asset, and will make it work, that he will do it. If he takes him to go and bring anybody from anywhere that will make Nigeria work, I don't need to like his face. We must not necessarily see eye to eye if we can work hand to hand for the benefit and the progression and for the progress of the country. Thank you very much, woman. I wish I'm here. I'd like to really come back, but let me keep to time, just like the previous persons have done.
All right, let's kick it on with Pansat, and Pansa, so just two spaces. Oh, you can speak to whatever it is you want to, but we were speaking.
How about me, woman?
All right.
I
Okay.
started.
Okay.
Leave us to regulate a bit until
right.
until the platform is populated.
All right.
Pansa to understand.
All right. Let me just give you the topics that we have so that you can or anything else you're interested in. But
no, I will come to Aisha Yusufu, but I want to say something about
and then the Sheshede and
the attitude of people. Okay, 56 now. The attitude of our people. I want our people to understand where we are coming from. I want to speak on the aviation strike that happened for a few hours previous Monday. Was it previous Monday or Wednesday in Abuja, for instance? The FAAN workers, they blocked the runway of the airport, and Air Peace was one of the victims. You see, what happened is this. For every ticket we purchase, all of us for years long, there's a 5% tax attached to that payment we are making. It's like pay as you earn. The airline operators are supposed to remit this money immediately, to federal government. For years, they've been sitting on it. For years, it has now accumulated almost 6 billion, and they cannot pay. They cannot pay. So the brilliant thing this government has done now, that, okay, we will not burden you. You cannot pay. We've been talking about this now in the last 24 months. So can you please, we will have a coupon, kind of. Anytime a government official is traveling, they will use coupon and we will be deducting this money until we are able to do it. So we won't be paying anymore. And that's what they are working on now, the modalities to come to that agreement. And I think that's brilliant. Rather than overburdening them, what they've done is criminal. It's like you work and you do your PYE every month, only for you to retire and then go to the pension body and they say your employer has not been remitting money. That's what it is like. So we should all know that most of these things are because we do not enforce our rules. We have laws and people are overriding these laws with impunity. So that's one of the things. I'll be coming every time we open here with a lot of these things. It's not everything you blame on the government. These big business owners are complicit in putting us into this dog hole where we find ourselves. We are trying to crawl our way back to the top so that we can breathe some fresh air. Let me come to Aisha Yusufu. It talks about the capacity of Obi as a person. I'm not an Aisha fan, but I sympathize with her and I understand what made her come to that logical conclusion that she will not be involved vigorously in Obi's campaign. If like me as a boss, I will look out for my people, particularly when they look out for me in our times of trouble in a company. You are going into a coalition, and you did not go there and negotiate for your senior staffers, trusted assistants. You did not negotiate for them like Kwankwaso did and left them home to dry, left them on the wire to dry in the sun. She wanted to be a senator. It behoves on you to open the path for her. As you are going in, let that be part of your negotiation. That I have Tanko, I have this person, I have that person. This is what they want, and I want the presidency. So not there now, she wants it so badly, and I suspect Obi agreed that he's going to fight for her. But when the chips were down, Obi couldn't assert himself. And that's not the hallmark of a good leader. And she was annoyed, but I'm happy. It was Mrs. Pam, a Yoruba woman, a Lagosian like me, daughter of Brigadier Austin Peters, who beat her silly in that Senate this thing for NDC. I'm very, very glad about that. So, but well, it's also good. Their mistakes is my pleasure. And all this this opposition thing, you understand, they cannot beat Tinubu. All I hear is drug, certificate. Please tell me what you are going to do differently. Tell me how you will better the NEL fund, the credit scheme, how you will put more speed to the road infrastructure that are going on, how you, those are the things I want to hear, not all this abuse every day. You throw jibes and this thing, come and tell me this, come and, as if you are a school headmaster. How did you spend this money? How did you spend that money? Or what are you doing? You don't know anything. It is silly, very, very silly. If they continue like this in another 1 month, the 65-75% they are giving Tinubu a chance to win is too small. We will increase it to 85. I yield, one man. I think it's Pansat.
Thank you. Yeah, it is my turn. I appreciate it.
Pansat, can we bring Hassan into the conversation? He's just joining us.
Okay, let him just once I'm going to respond to Bishop and to Baba a little bit, and then we're going to bring him in. Is that him that's named Ayama Tanga? That's him.
Ayama Tanga, yes, that's
okay.
He's always coming up with these funky new names every time.
Okay, very good. We're going to hear from Ayama Tanga in a little bit here. So, Baba, I was going to respond to what you said about.
Just let Pansat go. I'll come back in like 10 minutes. I'm just heating some water right now.
Okay, very good. So, Baba, I'm going to respond to what you said about Aisha and then the leadership about Obi Abadan. But let me first tell my friend Baba, my friend Bishop, that yes, I did say that in the last cycle of elections, I was under the impression that Tinubu was criminally charged, and I made that case on this platform a lot. But when we sorted out, he was not criminally charged, right? But that does not mean now then that you're going to be looking at it as exhaustive and then mutually exclusive. There are other possibilities. Do you understand? So it's a fallacy for you to say if I admit that he's not criminally charged, that then it's exhaustive. It covers all possibilities. No. There are other possibilities, right? Which, like here, you may not be criminally charged yet because of some other things. Do you understand? During the investigation, I have to phrase it for you mathematically, but I wish I had a board to do so. If the universe, if it consists only of a set A and set B, so I'm going to be showing you there are other elements, for example, set C, that belong in the universe, right? When you have the union of sets A and B, like we studied. So I want you to pay attention to the release because they have to open it up. Tell us what happened. Because Tinubu has enemies. Some of them will be insinuating things that probably weren't there.
Right.
And he has friends who would try to exonerate him regardless of what's in there. So since we got a couple of days to the release, I'm just saying I'm going to have to be fair here. Let him release it, even though he's fighting tooth and nail. Some time ago, he said, hey, look, if you release it, then I'm dead. If you release this, then it's going to hurt me, it's going to harm me irreparably. At least you admit that. He's the defendant there, right? Or is the defense there? So he's saying, if you release it, then you just finished me if you did that. Now that's bad.
So,
now,
can I respond to you quickly? Can I interject?
Very, very quickly. Yeah, very
So,
quickly.
what you are advocating for is a retrial. With my very, very rusted, not even rusted, elementary roadside knowledge of English.
Double jeopardy in law.
Exactly. What are the ingredients that can actually legally invalidate a previous trial and engineer or begin kickstart the beginning of another retrial? You know,
Okay.
that is
Let
not.
me-
I'm coming. No, I'll finish my question in just another 30 seconds. When you cannot prove there is no evidence of a mistrial or what do you call it now? What's the right word? The word is missing. You know, without necessarily inflicting the injury of I forgot the Latin word. What Baba just said now of a double jeopardy rule. There was no appeal against the ruling. There was no appeal for a mistrial. There was nothing, no new evidence that was being adduced by anybody at 30 years after, 33 years after.
Remember, it's only a 5 minute slot that I have. But let me correct you and Baba at the same time. Let me tell this chick, I'm gonna call her back. Hey baby. I'm fine. I'm gonna call you back, okay? All right, bye. So now let me correct you and
Is that not hold on.
I know you're gonna come talk.
Hold on. Is that not Dubrinsky? That's your something ski. Is now adopting a female voice. What's going on there? Is that not Bob? Are you? Is that sounds like Bob?
Why do you have your mind in the gutter? I'm an old man. Now listen to this, Baba and Bishop. Double jeopardy is a legal defense and constitutional right that stops the government from trying or punishing a person twice for the same crime. You already said he was not criminally charged. As a matter of fact, I advocated that in Tinubu's favor. So if you're claiming double jeopardy, then you're taking us back to when we thought that he was charged, right? This rule comes from
it's his company who owns the account that was charged in the civil matter, not Tinubu directly.
Just wait now. You don't talk.
I just want to put that to you. So
I said in order for that, you're the one claiming that defense, right? Double jeopardy. If his company was charged and it's not him, it's not double jeopardy. So this rule comes from our Fifth Amendment here to our Constitution, meaning once a court finds you not guilty or guilty, the state cannot charge you again for that exact act. But opening up records that were sealed by the court and there's a hearing and you decide to open it up, don't you want to know? Even for Tinubu's sake, if he's innocent, he's got his cloud hanging over his head. So you want to know, right? There's no second trial here yet because time's already run out on that anyway. You follow me? So don't be afraid about second trial. All we want to make sure is that somebody's not grabbing him by the blockos and making him give away our country. Right? We want to open it up. Let's see what's in there.
You know, I just think it's quite unfortunate that we've had the elections kick off and we're still back to drug dealer is from Guinea and then primary school something. As it just seems such a waste of time. You know, of course, we will go through another 2 weeks of this. We'll end up in the middle of nowhere, and then we're 2 weeks closer to the elections without actually debating anything of any meaning. Oh, it's a baron.
Yeah,
for
one man.
Not you especially.
No, I understand.
The conversational space will be subsumed. The American, and then you will see some ridiculous bunch they will say, we'll take a petition to the EU, and then another ridiculous bunch. They will say, taking a petition to the UN, and then another ridiculous bunch. We're taking that Donald Trump, he has tweeted. And they will do this for 2
Exactly,
weeks.
because that's why I was saying, right?
Pansat, you are taking 3 minutes because you both are short your time, but take 3 minutes.
But you know,
one man is not going to let me get a word in.
It's just, you know, it's just, I mean, I'm just in despair as to what the next 2 weeks will look like.
You know, we're going to clean it out this time.
It's going to be a rebudget. Yeah, but hold on. Do you think anything will happen that will remove Tinubu as a candidate or diminish his chances off the back of this, whatever it is that is going on? Articles going to court to ask for his primary school, or the Americans, the XYZ, whatever it is.
It's all water on the back of it.
No, but it has no meaning now, but they will waste 2 weeks on that, just screeching and squealing all over social media.
I'll be against that. If they do that, I will be.
No, you can't stop it now, because
let me reclaim my time. Yeah, you could invent time here. You could stay here 24 hours if you want, because it's your platform. So now what I'm saying is that as a fair guy, right? I said it in my opening remarks. I'll be against anybody carrying on and on this. If it's opened up and we see what's in there, then we have to move on. But the thing that's giving these people a little credence is that Tinubu and his council, they say, oh no, if you open this thing up, you're going to ruin my life. It's irreparable harm. They say there's something in there. So the courts, in their wisdom, they're going to release this thing. Once it's released, then it will have legs if there's something there, right? If there's nothing there, first of all, I'll be against it. So now let me say that, Baba, before I'm stopped here, I want you to know that
you have 2 minutes more.
Okay, thank you. Some of the core skills for a leader, none of it applies to the Aisha thing, right? A leader is supposed to have clear communication, share goals plainly, and listens well to the team. A leader is supposed to have empathy to understand the team, feelings, and perspective to build trust. A leader is supposed to have accountability, take responsibility for both success and mistakes, right? The character part of it, the mindset, integrity, to match actions with honest values, to earn the trust, adaptability, stay calm and adjust plans, empowering others. Now, in that last one, to empower others, help the team members grow. You're not supposed to cut corners and be corrupt. That's what we really. Why do people support Peter Obi? Why do I want?
Are you saying Aisha is corrupt?
No, well, there's a contest. Okay, Aisha to me should win. All right. Some people are saying the same thing they say to Showere, go and be a councilman. In this case, they say go and go to the House before you aspire to go to the Senate. Now, Aisha is saying, hey, look, somebody's already occupying the House. So I don't want to go upsetting the apple cart over there. I want to be a senator. So Peter Obi, now what kind of Peter Obi are we going to have if he does the same thing Abio and Tinubu and Atiku do? We don't want anything like that. We really want to change the country.
But do you think Aisha Yusufu is obstinate or has inordinate ambition that is only Senate seat or nothing? It's because somebody has guaranteed him or her.
Put it this way.
Hold on, Pansai. We have to bring Hassan and Zita in. So land your point and then we'll bring them in.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I will do that. After all, I've got a hot babe here to return their call. Here's what I'm saying to you. If you listen to Aisha, right? If you don't just look at the bullets, thanks there. You look at the entire thing she's saying. She's saying exactly the same thing. She doesn't have any qualms with Peter Obi. Aisha, like me, I couldn't stand Aisha to watch over me because maybe that's, I have flaws. So in order for Aisha, pardon?
I said we all do.
Yeah, we all do. So somebody like Aisha, even if she parts ways with Peter Obi peacefully, nobody else could do that. So Aisha is one woman you don't want to mess with. So, but she's saying, hey, look, I'm not going to follow P2B around because I did it for other reasons. He wasn't known very well to the whole country. They want to make him a Christian candidate or they want to make him an Igbo candidate. And I had to get into the trenches to dispel that. And she's done that. So now she's not going to follow him around. She's going to be going and doing more important work. And that's just the way she read it. So I think it's implicit in what you understand. With that, I will yield. I have a lot of things to say about it. For example, the thespian character called Kenneth Okonkwo. It's an actor, right? Player, performer, trooper, entertainer.
You know, I'd actually pay money for Kenneth Okonkwo to corner you on some sort of platform, and I would
destroy. Now he's a good orator, right?
You know that summary flogging that a lot of us have been wanting.
He's a good orator, but
because I think that guy is going to tell you a new one.
He cannot. Now you remember when your guy came here, Araban B came here, and I asked him one little question.
But Araban B is a different quantity now. The only Kenneth Okonkwo is an ebullient bruiser.
Yeah,
you know,
he's
good. So
it's good.
So
but once you don't deal with
speaks
facts,
it speaks in your language now,
and
it speaks better than you.
You can't withstand me for 1 minute because you're gonna have very little of my own opinion. It's gonna be facts that I'm gonna destroy him with. He couldn't even stand me for 5 minutes. I'll destroy him. Why? Because he'll be dealing with facts. The moment he veers off, then he lose. Like you saw how I beat Baba here last year. How did I do?
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember who roughed you up the last time.
Nobody. The guy that's
you were quivering at the lips.
What's the name of the guy?
Who was that guy that beat us? Do you remember Baba when the guy flogged him and it was just
you had a loud guy come here. What's his name?
Oh, Ijele. Yes, it was
Ijele.
Yeah,
it
was Ijele that flogged you.
Yes,
I had to bring him back actually to come and give you another beating.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. I yield and I'll be around to listen to.
All right, brilliant. So, so that's son right there going to speak to his cross-dressing babe. Hassan, are you ready? You know that you don't have any cross-dressing.
I'm ready.
You don't have any cross-dressing babes, or do you? I suspect not.
Yeah, final. Good morning, everyone. Baba, Passat, Madam Sita, Bishop. A very good morning to you all. So one man. What are the main topics that you guys are discussing about? I think it's like everything is surrounding around show.
Yes, the main hub of it is that the electioneering has officially kicked off. So it's now campaign season all the way through to the elections. So we're talking about that. We're also talking about Segun Showunmi declaring that he's going to be campaigning for Tinubu. He being a PDP chieftain. So we're talking about that. And then we were talking about Aisha Yesufu telling us that she's not going to be campaigning with Peter Obi this time around. Tinubu telling us that the recovered EFCC monies should go onto the NEL funds. So we're talking about that. And then Lagos is declaring Thursday coming as Yoruba Day, a public holiday. So we're wondering if this is a backlash against that narrative of these people telling us that Lagos is no man's land, trying to reclaim their indigenous shape. And then the Americans are looking to release Tinubu's files on drug dealing. So that is to tell us then that Tinubu might not be on the ballot. So we're talking about that. And then they're giving us a breakdown of the monies from the fuel subsidy, how that's been disbursed. So 5 trillion goes to the federal government, 10 trillion goes to the states and local government. So that's the broad strokes of that breakdown. So we're talking about those or anything else that interests you. And also, Nigeria is emerging as one of the top leading lithium hubs in the world. And the Chinese are moving very quickly to steal a march on the Americans. So that's also in play as well. So give us about 7 minutes of your thoughts.
Yes, I will start with the lithium thing. Recently I was in some places doing some assignments in very rural Nigeria. Okay, so you know, the border of Nigeria and Cameroon is essentially a mountain range. You know that they call that mountain range from our Borno side we call it the Mandara Mountains, but it is that same mountain range that you see when you're in northeast Nigeria and then southeast Nigeria. So if you go to a place like Chabalwadi in Taraba State, Gembu, and you go to say Obudu Cattle Ranch, you see you may not be able to differentiate that this is in the north and this is in the south. So this mountain formation, it's like it's more than 3,000 kilometers across the the eastern border of Nigeria. So what I'm trying to say is it is not only lithium. However, lithium is very, very, it's one of the hottest commodities right now, and the mining of it and all that. So I was in this place, for example, but what I noticed was that you can't go to this area and the federal government has cordoned it off until you get a clearance from the Office of the National Security Advisor. So when you get that clearance, you can then go there. But then when me and my team went there, we went for some assignments that required just some safeguarding issues. But what I came to understand was that the federal government, via the Office of the National Security Advisor, are protecting a vast, deposit of some mineral of some sort, and that mineral is okay. So this is the gist of it, right? They are saying that with the flux of what is happening in the world now and the undercurrent of global power, the end of the unipolar movement, and the world is becoming multipolar, that the federal government does not rule out a possibility of having the United States deploy, the Chinese deploy, and already we have the Russians just by our border in Niger too, who can deploy, and everybody is eyeing that. So what they are estimating in amount of natural resources that are there, people are talking that it's in the regions of trillions, almost $1 trillion dollars. If I could even present, I would have presented it to you so that you see one picture that I snapped there.
Yeah, send it to me on WhatsApp. Do you know what the resource is? Do you know what the resource is?
So it's classified.
But do you know though? Okay, send it to me privately.
I have a hunch.
Yeah, if
yes, I have a hunch, but
you can send it to me privately. Yeah.
Yeah, let me send you the picture, right? So
I think it's uranium.
No, the uranium thing. What has really happened is that the American troops were deployed in Borno, right? And some of them went as far as northern Borno. In fact, the moment they left, after they left, some people were using Google Maps to try to. They saw some inconsistencies. So there is this town that is called Geshigar. Geshigar used to be under Baga local government. So Geshigar is at the border of Nigeria and Niger. Okay, so that Geshigar, it's been abandoned for more than 9 years. There is nobody there. But if you use Google Maps, you see the settlements, although they've been taken over by shrub and all that, but you see the old settlements there. So when the United States said that they are done and that they are withdrawing their soldiers and all that, and then they left Borno. I don't know whether they are still in Nigeria, but they are not in Borno any longer. So that is the official story anyway. So through Google Earth, some people were trying to, and then they found out that some significant portion of that town of Geshigar, has been blurred. And then another like 20-25 kilometers ahead to that area too has been blurred. You cannot actually see what is happening. Anybody can go to their Google Earth right now and just try to look at Geshigar. You see that they are okay. Anyway, after they did that, through also what they call open source intelligence, and so people were able to get Beidou satellite images, Chinese satellite images, and lo and behold, do you know what is happening there? There are two large pits that are doing a mining operation of uranium around that area. These are some concessions that I think allegedly that the government has ceded to the Americans. So they are doing day and night mining, not even they are doing day and night mining, and what we think they are mining there is uranium. That's the heartbreaking part. That's one. This one that I'm talking about. This one that I'm talking about. The government knows about it, but the government doesn't want to even give an inch, because you remember when there was speculation in the late mid 2010s about crude oil becoming irrelevant and all that, and then Nigeria was saying that they are going to transition to instead of flaring their gas, actually commodifying the gas, because there is so much demand for it, and then transition to selling gas mainly. So Nigeria had that. Now for this place, it's not even about the gold. It is about this particular resource, and the government is deploying serious.
Can anyone still hear Hassan, or is it just me?
No.
Hassan, we've lost you. You see, he's in the interior of the interior.
Okay, am I back? Am I back?
You are back. You're back.
Okay. So this is the reality of the thing. So what is going to happen to Nigeria in the next years that are coming? We need to have strong institutions. We cannot allow illegal mining in any way, shape, or form. This Ministry of Mines and Solid Minerals, who is heading it? What are they doing? The mining space has been infiltrated by all sorts of useless, nonsensical, free for all, jungle-like brutality. That anybody can come. Fulani herdsmen will come, bandits will come, take their own, and there is allegations too that they are conniving with maybe traditional rulers and even political stakeholders. So it's a serious issue. So
your connection is very poor.
I would have loved to see. Okay, just give me 3 minutes. I'll let me do something, and I'll come back.
All right, brilliant. All right, brilliant. And I'm still after that information. I want to know what the resource is, because I think you have your suspicions, but you don't want to say it publicly. So send it to me by text, so at least I want to know. Nigeria has such an abundance in resource. In fact, oil is not even our wealth, but we have lithium to one of the highest globally. Gas, everything we have. We're still scrambling. We're still doing a big power and all that. But Zita, as we are waiting Hassan to join us back, floor is yours.
One man, this thing, no vessel. One man, this thing you are saying here. You remember when I came to your platform newly, we had an argument.
in this platform, and I told you I have a paper, that if the person pay me 1 million, I'll give it to him. I said in this platform that every state in Nigeria, if they harness their natural resources, they're good to go. But they don't want to do that. Anyway, that's by the way. What's the topic for today, Biko? Hello?
Yes, the main hub of it is the headline that the elections officially kick off. So the race to Aso Rock are the runners and riders at the starting block. So who wins? I think we already know who wins, but just for the purposes of engaging time, we want to discuss that there's any possibility of anything happening. So we're looking at that. And then Aisha Yusufu tells us that she's not going to be campaigning with Peter Obi this time around, which is not to say she's abandoning him, but she's not going to be mounting the stumps with him. So we're talking about that. But somebody that will be mounting the stumps for Tinubu is Segun Shoumi, who is a chieftain of the PDP. So quite why he wants to be campaigning for Tinubu, we don't know. So, and then we're also talking about this. Let me play you this clip. The political career of Kenneth Okonkwo is dead and buried. And here is why. Watch this.
The name of the person is Caleb Westberg. Made the deposition on behalf of Chicago State University. That's the certificate that Tinubu purportedly presented to INEC did not emanate from them. And in court, we couldn't even produce our own form EC8A. We couldn't even produce the evidence. Atiku Abubakar is the only person now that stands the chance to defeat Tinubu.
So you're saying that it's better to rally around a man who has lost almost 6 times?
There's your formulation answer. I'm asking you. It doesn't make sense.
Are you sure it doesn't make sense? Or because it contradicts what you say? You say that the reason why you like Atiku is because he's playing an inclusive politics.
Yes.
In October 2022, on channel television, you said that Atiku's Kaduna comment, where he was telling Northerners not to vote for a Yoruba or Igbo candidate, was a genocidal statement and called for INEC to prosecute him under Section 97 of the Electoral Act. Which one is it? When you say he should be prosecuted for dividing the country,
the duty of the opposition is to watch closely what the other person has said and use it for your own advantage.
So in 2022, when you made this statement, you were just playing politics. How should we know that what you're saying in 2026 now is not also you playing politics?
First and foremost, I am playing politics.
So it's not the truth for you, it's just a political victory.
This your interview is about what I said.
We just want to reconcile your past with your present. Do you still believe that Atiku belongs to prison? That is the
So there it is right there. In
why did you say that his political career is dead?
Well, did you not see him being cooked? Was it not just fully roasted right there?
Oh man, he has something in him that politicians needed. The politicians are always cooks. They flip-flop from time to time. That is their nature. The only politicians that don't flip-flop too much is the ones that decide not to talk so much. The best way for you to not to be cooks, according to you, from time to time, is for you to speak less. But if you are a politician, you keep ranting, you'll be cooks. Every time they'll be hammering you, you say this, and why are you saying this? It's normal with politicians. That is not to say that his political career is dead on arrival. No. His political career is not dead. Do you know why I said that, woman? Hello?
We're listening, carry on.
Do you know why I said that? He has something that you will need as a politician. What he has is speaking gibberish with all amount of confidence and impetus, with calculated vocabularies. So his career cannot die. You might not, if he contests, he might not win. But politicians will want him around them to be speaking that ziggism, talking rubbish, but the confidence and the impetus he used to push that to the public is what they need. Because some of our younger ones, maybe you should be wondering the time he was supporting Peter Obi and now he's supporting Atiku. Most humans might not even remember what he said that. But if they like him, they might follow him to Atiku. So that's actually nothing. What's the next thing you said, please? There's one topic you said here now that interesting.
No, we were talking. Well, Segun Showunmi campaigning for Tinubu, even though he been a PDP chieftain.
Aisha Yusuf.
Aisha Yusuf for abandoning Peter Obi. Tinubu telling EFCC to hand over recovered monies to the NEL fund so that money makes the full circle. And then Lagos State declaring Thursday as Yoruba Day, which I think is a backlash against Lagos is no man's land. And then the pressure on the Americans to release Tinubu's files so that he can be declared a drug dealer and struck off the electoral register and all that.
Okay, let me start with Aisha Yusuf. You see, that woman was among those that fought for bring back our girls. And she's privy to some information about some shenanigans happening in the north. You see, if you are I don't know how to put it, I don't think she is, but if you are somebody who is concerned about Kwankwanzo, you wouldn't be campaigning in a party Kwankwanzo. I know she will say that, but I think that's her point. You wouldn't, in good conscience, if you are supporting Peter Obi, very well, one man, you are supporting Peter Obi, and all of a sudden, from the blues, Peter Obi look around, the only person he will match with is Kwankwanzo. One man, in honesty, those two men are too parallel.
Zita, people are saying she's backlashing against Peter Obi not supporting her senatorial ambitions. You remember back in those days when she was angling for a Senate ticket with the NDC, but Peter Obi did not back her. I think they're saying she's backlashing against that.
One man, if that is her reason, then she must be I don't know the word to use for her. She must be a very insensitive idiot I have ever met. From the one, even when he was holding Peter Obi on his sleeves and two of them were dancing Owigiri, she should have known that Peter Obi is a very selfish person. So why would she use it? Was she thinking she's special or something? That's the man's character. That's his character from the one. And when I say it here, people don't like me, but I don't really do care. I don't care. Not be man will enter Port Harcourt, tell them, say, make they vote for her for president. All the Labour Party guys can go to hell. You can pull out the video now. And the man who ruled the state for 8 years and he's running around the whole Nigeria campaigning. No, the traditional ruler. Do you know what it means to rule a state for 8 years? I mean, Nigerians, sometimes the way we think, sometimes we really do demean a lot of things. 8 years is not 8 days. Neither is it 8 weeks or 8 months. You rule a state for 8 years. You have commissioners. And all these commissioners, you change them like the way you change your pants every day. You have commissioners, you have aides, cook. Then to talk about traditional rulers, the ones that are not supposed to be traditional, probably you made them traditional, and blah, blah, blah. And you run around the whole country. Then none of them come standing solidly behind you. You should know how selfish that man is. So I'll be surprised if that is her reason. If that is her reason, then she shouldn't be in politics because she's not observant. But
you know, the reason she's giving is that she wants to stay back to mobilize people and then protect the votes. But then to mobilize people and protect the votes, that's at the election phase. So that's not at the campaign phase. So you're not mobilizing or protecting any votes during campaign. It's when the balloting starts that you do that. So what she's telling us essentially is she's going to abstain from the first phase, and then at the tail end phase she'll come in. But clearly she's aggrieved about something. She's angst about something. But what is what's jarring now? There's clearly an untold story there, and for that vacuum, people speculate, and they're speculating that it's because she didn't get a ticket. Yeah.
Maybe I don't understand political terms, but if I do, when you say you will not campaign for somebody, when you say I will not campaign for somebody, people think I will not campaigning is you have to mount the pulpit with the person or the podium with the person shout yay, you say yay, or follow him about wherever, or somewhere doing your small crowd and all this. If you say I will not campaign for you, it simply means I am not endorsing you. Period.
Could I be hard on that, Ms. AI? I actually thought you were making progress there, but to make that conclusion, I don't think that you've laid any foundation to justify what you just said. We heard what she said. Now, people can extrapolate differently, but we heard her. And we've seen her take action since then. She's been the same, promoting Peter Obi. And what is it that we're actually talking about? Should Peter Obi do what is being insinuated? Should Peter Obi go there towards?
Let me clarify
the process. Let me just finish what I'm saying. Should Peter Obi go over there and choose her, be the one to determine who the candidate will be? That's not a lie with Peter Obi's character. Because if it is, then we don't need Peter Obi. We can keep what we have, because these other players have other virtue, be crooked. If you want somebody who's crooked, Peter Obi is not the best character for that. What we want is a new Nigeria where rules are obeyed. If there's an election, you jump in the ring, slug it out by yourself. You could be endorsed, but don't expect Peter Obi to go ahead and handicap other contestants. He's not that kind of a guy. That's not selfishness. Selfishness will be somebody you're a billionaire and you're just spending the money on your family, like the Tinubus, for example, right? They don't care about anybody else, but the cabal are the most. So Peter Obi is not, if you count somebody who goes to a hospital, donate money for healthcare, that's not selfishness. And he has a record of doing things like that. But I understood what you were saying earlier. I would have said, if what one man is saying is an exact translation of what Aisha said, yes, you'd be right, but that's not what he said. You're dealing with hearsay here. One man is not the most credible person to quote for opposition candidates. One man is full of propaganda and lies a lot of times here. So
you're eating up AI.
Okay, let me use a couple more minutes of your time, AI. To say, if she says no, then I'll stop. So what I'm saying is that what I wanted us to do, the spirit I've come on the platform today, is for us to now see how we can regulate ourselves.
AI, are you agreeing to this?
One man is redundant here. Yeah. So if we let me just say this.
Why Asia not popular? Is it Asia popular now? I want to know, because
there is one man, Zita has a flaw.
Can you hear me?
Zita, I yield back.
Baba.
Pansat, let me clarify.
Yeah.
Is it Asia is popular now?
When did it stop?
Why are you Asia?
We were here earlier. We were only restricted to 7 minutes. When did that 7 minutes rule stop now? All of a sudden.
No, one man, since he came back into the We were self-regulating.
You cannot distort like that. Now we were restricted to
Let
7
her
minutes.
But I've not
let her
spoken
clarify,
for
then we
7
move on.
minutes, have I?
No,
No.
you've not even spoken for 4 minutes. I think Pansat interjected that, but maybe Pansat wasn't here when we were setting the rules. What we're saying is if you are interjecting somebody, be short and succinct. You can't interject for longer than the person that you're interjecting, because then they lose
My
the
bad.
natural. Yeah,
My
no,
bad.
no, just not you especially, just for the
Yeah.
purposes of we all understand.
One man
Guy, I'm trying to
nobody
guy.
answer me.
Can you get out? What you always do? You just saw me trying to explain something now. Get out, man. Sorry. I was just saying, please just let me make the point, just so we understand we're all on the same hymn shade. If you are interjecting somebody, be short and succinct, so that you don't break the natural rhythm of their thought. If you are interjecting and you are elongating that interjection, then that's no longer an interjection, that is a submission. And then you have chopped them up so much, they've lost the natural pause point of their thought, so that they have to recalibrate into wherever it is you want them to be. So just make it short and succinct. That's what we're saying. But Azita, bring it home. Sorry, Patrick, but so you have to get your timing right sometimes, Patrick. Don't just unmute and launch into it, especially. But Zita, carry on.
Pansat, when I said what I said, I used the word, I said politically. If I understand political language, when you say you are not going to campaign for somebody, simply means you are not endorsing that person politically. But if you want to speak in the political term, you can say, I will not be involved in everything, but I will pick areas I can involve. I have the time to get involved in. Meanwhile, maybe if they give her money, she will. What man? Let me go to Tinubu and certificate. Which one are they talking about now? Is this certificate or drug? Please help me.
It's the drugs now. So
the drugs.
It's just the disappointment that with 4 years on, we're still Bokarian.
Actually, one man, I actually think, I don't even know where we are discussing Aisha and P2B and Atiku, because I actually thought we have opposition. Because actually, let me use my term. If you watch a man rule for 3.5 years, and all you could come up with is something that he did so many years ago, you were still shouting on it, he used it, he won an election, and now he has ruled for more than 3 years. Honestly, sincerely speaking, one man, I don't have an opposition. There is no opposition in Nigeria. Because you cannot tell me that this is exactly what they did in 2023. Even, what's this guy's name? Former governor of Kwara State with Atiku. They went to US now. Didn't they? They went to US. One man, have you forgotten?
Yeah, was that who was that? Was that Saraki?
Saraki. They went to US, lodged in Trump Towers now, to go and look for Tinubu's file. Have you people forgotten?
Randall Mockery went to Chicago now to go and look for a certificate.
So are they telling me that Tinubu's government, they can't find anything? At least 5 or 6 things they should use now that the campaign has started. Run Nigeria. Is that what they're telling me? Come on now.
Atiku went to court. Atiku went to court, Zita, to compel INEC to release Tinubu's primary and secondary school certificates. And INEC came back to say that this guy submitted only a university certificate. And the law requires that he submits a school cert or its equivalent. And a university certificate is more than equivalent of a school cert. So as far as the law is concerned, the legal requirement is satisfied. So is Atiku asking INEC to go and be chasing Tinubu for the primary and secondary school certificate? And if he's asking them, what compels INEC to do that? Because all the law requires is that it shows school cert or equivalent. and he has shown a degree. And this is where the opposition is in politics.
A woman. So I think he's telling me that all Tinubu's policies, and the ones he has initiated, and the ones that are going on, he didn't see anyone. According to them, Nigeria hungry, suffer. He didn't see anyone that is somehow affecting the masses, somehow, that he can take him to court for and start from there. Why he start campaigning against it? Is that what, man, these guys are done, honestly.
Could I say something there?
Sorry, Pansat. The only way I can think of it, Zita, is that these people are trying to do it in phases. So the first phase is to try to get Tinubu struck off the ballot through the drug certificate, etc. space. So once that is spent, then they go into ad hominems, all those ethno-religious, dog whistling. And then with that, they will also want to go into policy positioning. So I think this is just the first phase.
Woman, let me correct that position of yours. The Supreme Court in the last electoral cycle, they ruled explicitly that conviction is not a criminal conviction. And they don't have any record that Tinubu was convicted in the United States. It's there in the
president. He's running for Nigeria president. He's running for Nigerian
so
president.
Even whatever article comes up with is irrelevant. The Supreme Court has ruled.
I say my gibberish here, they write them down. I told you here, one man, two years ago, that all the things that went their way in 2023, perfectly their way in 2023, they didn't still use it to move. That 80% of that thing are gone. Muslim ticket. You cannot say he's trying to Muslimalize Nigeria or Sharialize Nigeria, if there's anything like that, because he has used it for 3.5 years. Ethnicity or whatever you call it. You look at his cabinet. In fact, middle belt are even the ones enjoying his cabinet more than, if I may say. Which other one? Take back your country. He didn't take country anywhere. It's with him. Which other one? They die. His leg they check. In hand they check. Not this one why they see now. At the wash am I they look in leg in the wear cut shoe. The waka poi. Which other one they use? Blue blabber blue boo. You know blabber blue boo again.
Bala blue blabber.
Whatever. Which other one? Name it.
Okay,
now.
hold on now.
That 2023 has to go down as the worst campaign season in the history of Nigeria. It was just Comedy Central.
No, it wasn't comedy. Yes, listen. It wasn't comedy. One man, I said it here. It wasn't comedy. Those things that we are bringing out. Can I finish? Can I finish, please?
Just 1 second.
Before I lose my thought. You see, all those things that we are bringing out. All those things that brought out in 2023. It was a genuine and pen slogan. I repeat, they were genuine campaign slogan. And as I said before, all those things went for them except them.
Okay, let me say this to you. You know, you've mentioned about half a dozen things already. Muslim ticket, right? Legs they shake, hand they shake. Baba we know well. They sing Emelokon, right? The university scandal, the certificate forgery, this drug issue. All those things worked. You're right. They're not gone. Facts are stubborn things. I was saying to one man last cycle, I said, Tinubu did not win the election because he's clever, crafty, and all that kind of stuff. He didn't win because of that. What happened was that Buhari, right, rigged the election. shut down the beavers and northerners, including Aerofy. I kept making the case. I said, Tinubu's modus operandi is to bribe and use thugs to influence the result of an election. He tried it in Lagos. It didn't work. He lost that state by a wide margin, right? So now, look at the remarkable resemblance with this Oshun election. It's the same thing. He had all these people go over there, thugs, governors, and everything, and it didn't work. He lost there. So you may think that Tinubu won that election. No, those things affected him. He lost. He lost his state. He lost his ward. Now, just hold on 1 minute. Now, it's not easy to get time from Madam AI. So when I manage to get one, let me use a little bit of it until she stops me. So what I'm saying is that if you're waiting for Madam AI's time to expire here, you will be wasting your time. First of all, the moderator is putting his thumb on the scale of time here. He's got favorites, right? And then Madam AI is never going to stop. She has a host of conjunctions, like and all kinds of conjunctions to keep going. But what I'm saying is, though, if you're here reciting about 6 already scandals, none of them resolved, and then you keep saying, oh, they don't have anything. If the only thing they have is just this, that they're dumb, they're stupid, you could call them names if you want. The problem is that
it didn't work now.
It did work
They're
because
not getting my point.
Tinubu lost the election. They shut down the beavers. They're not
Can
going
I
to let
speak,
that happen
please?
again.
Can I speak?
Yes, we are still talking about
Can I speak?
All right. Hold on, everyone.
Let me conclude by saying something.
Everyone includes you, Zeta. Zeta, you have 2 minutes to conclude, and then we move it up back. But because Hassan made an assertion earlier on that there are certain areas in the north that is blurred off, and I've gone to search those areas and nothing is blurred. But give us another 2 minutes, and then we move the conversation on.
Pansat, if I may say, as I said before, those things are genuine political concerns, and you can use it to win an election. But the problem is the people using it. You are not understanding what I'm saying. The people, Atiku and Obi, they don't have what they have, like what they are jingling is okay. But who are they? Everything is going for them except them. Why? How is it difficult for anybody to understand? And this year again, una don't go bring them out again. So every other thing we go except them. Period. One man, please take it to another person.
One more, can I come in? Can I come in?
Yeah, okay, go on. Give us about 2 minutes, Patrick, since you've been pushing.
Okay, you see, sometimes I don't know why
please,
some.
Please,
let's go through the map together, please.
Excuse me.
Hold on, Patrick, as well. Patrick, please don't insult anybody. Just make your submission, and then we carry on.
No, I don't insult anybody, but it's a very shameful. You know, when I listen for most of educated people in this platform, they said, thank God she agreed Tinubu do it, but many years ago. You know, you see, it's not must you will do it in your country. Anything, so far as you want to contest president of a nation, they will first check you.
Point of correction, I did not say Tinubu did it.
You say he did it. You say he did it many years ago. What happened? That's what say what happened. That is happened. It's happened. Thank God it's happening many years ago. Thank God it's happening. Yes, thank God it's happening many years ago. But let me tell you.
Hold on, Patrick. Zita is in no position to say if Tinubu did or didn't do anything. So it's not. She has no authority to say that now. She's not the FBI.
Yeah, but I want to correct her. I want to correct her now. You know, you see.
You know, when you say that word, you get me angry.
No, Zita, just let it go. So that
yes, I want to correct her. Yeah. You see, whether he did it happening many years ago, my brother, my sister, So far as you want to be president of Nigeria, they will fast check you what you do in attended age, whether you have any skeleton in the cupboard. Now, so all over the world.
And
if
the one that fought, and the one that fought with his wife in the street of London, Uncle.
Yeah, that one is a family issue. It don't
really?
bring family issue in politics.
A man who
Yes,
fought his wife in the
yes. I
street
will
of
educate
London
you. I will
will be
educate you
president of
now. I will
Nigeria.
educate you now. I will use my.
Forget that nonsense.
Hold on, Patrick. Who fought with his wife on the streets of London? That's news to me.
No, boy, let me finish. You give me time. Can I go?
Carry on. But who fought with his wife on the streets of London?
I don't know. That one is a family issue, family matter. You cannot bring family matter to politics.
Is it the gentleman from
I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk like a primary school children. I cannot bring that thing into politics. It's a family matter. So what I'm saying is, Tinubu did it many years ago.
Hold on. Is Peter Obi a wife beater? Is that what we're establishing?
I'm not talking about family matter. Whether Peter Obi is a beater or not, I don't know. I cannot put mouth. Okay. Yeah, I cannot put mouth in somebody's family. So when I put mouth now about Tinubu is my president. So he cannot do something wrong many years ago. He say cannot face check. No, cannot do that. If he say here I live in, if he say committing something in America anywhere, they will first check you before you become a prime minister in this country. That's so he do. That's so everywhere. Nigeria, because they have a corrupt system. Your Supreme Court will say it's not a criminal matter. Who put that Supreme Court? Now your president. Who put them there? Now president. Who the bid has for them? So don't not stop this now. Tinubu is not supposed to be our president because he have many packages. So I've never seen this kind of thing before. Let us start ourselves too. The reality. The man is not supposed to be, if you say local government chairman, the place of governor, ex-governor.
Man, we ain't got all day.
All right, is that it? Asan has dropped, but sometimes it's good to fact check what people say every so often. So that was Hassan telling us that there's certain area. He said the Gashiga area of Borno State. That if we go on Google Earth, it's blurred Earth, and we are on Google Earth now. I can't see any sign of anywhere being blurred Earth. So Hassan, you've been busted though. This is the space you were talking about. I can see the vegetations. I can see the skeletons of structures. I can't see anywhere in that region that is blurred off. So Hassan, there it is all the way to the river. Can't see. Can you see anywhere blurred off on this Google image, Baba?
No, despite use glasses.
No, it's clear now.
How old is the image? How old is this image? Is it dated?
Well, I'm assuming it's the latest one now because it's in real time.
No, you can't.
No, this is not. You can't do real time in Nigeria.
This is probably a few years ago.
It's not few years. It should be few days, not years.
You can use. There's nothing blurred here, Hassan. So I'm not. This is it. Conspiracy theory and propaganda. Sometimes we have to be checking ourselves on this. Look at that. All you see is exactly as you expect Borno to be arid land, desert, and shrubs of vegetation. That's exact. So anyway, so that's that. Yeah. So where are we? Are we going on to?
And they have more population than the south too. Take a look at that picture of that place.
It's unbelievable. I can't even spot. Can you spot a lizard? I can't even spot a lizard.
It's
who will live in a place like this? It's not. Look at. This is where 20 million votes come from.
I'm telling you.
It's unbelievable stuff. But Azan, there it is. So I'm sure you're watching it. But you probably.
Woman, why is your earth camp too far?
How do you mean?
It's far. The range is very far. You can actually see the houses.
No. This is the health facility there. but because it said there are blurred images, it gave the location as Gashiga, Borno, and this is central to Gashiga, Borno here. But I'm panning the whole expanse just to make sure that I can't say anything that looks like anyway. A little bit of boo from Asan there, but there it is. So where were we? Who has the floor? Have we heard from Wake Up? Wake Up, you there?
No, woman, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm here.
No, don't do that. No, no.
Woman.
Let me have my say. Yes, I actually wanted to interject twice. I was stopped. You restricted us to 7 minutes. We obeyed it. So let me have the quick interjection.
All right,
Ansat, my first interjection is to you. You came here just a few minutes ago to repeat the lies. Peter Obi won Lagos with a wide margin. I can quote the figures to you. Yeah,
it's just 10,000.
You won with 10,000 votes. That's one.
No, but you are assuming that the published figures are the correct figures. No,
where did you get your statistics?
So which statistics are you now using? What kind of? I thought we have gone beyond this.
Honestly, I don't know why you
let me finally say this. If you lose your state, right?
This very vexatious. Please allow me now. Allow me.
Just allow me. Another 4 months, we're having a brand new president.
10 seconds now.
Allow me now.
I'm saying that if you lose your state by 1, you lost by a lot.
No, it's not by wide margin.
You're not supposed to lose.
Look, we are not like you. We don't crack. Listen
just
now.
Hold on now.
I cannot hold on. I'm the one talking. We have spoken more than.
Call me out. Hold on.
I only mentioned.
We're behaving ourselves here. Just hold on. 10 seconds. I'm saying that if you lost your state by 10,000 votes, right? That's a wide margin because it's something you're not supposed to lose, right? Do you know what 10,000 votes are? That's a lot of votes.
Okay, we agree. That's in the past now. We agree.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Let Bishop carry on. We agree. Okay. He win. Finish.
Sorry, Bishop, before you carry on, an eagle-eyed viewer just spotted something. So just for the benefit of accuracy, somebody is actually pointing out that the data attribution is in 2022. So it's completely this Google map that we're looking at. And I've seen that as well. So maybe
Rita, you see that I'm never. When I say something, that's the way it is. I told you this years ago.
No, you didn't say that. Aladdin Kelly said it.
I'm saying that.
He said years.
Passat
said years ago.
But
Passat said years ago.
Bishop.
No, Passat said years ago. But I said.
By the way, I'm here to reclaim you back, bring you back home. Bishop, you're not gonna be stuck out here with this people.
Bishop, you're muted.
I'm bringing you back home.
I'm not muted. I'm just waiting for the something to.
As my system dropped me.
Hello. I'm hearing you.
Yeah, we can hear you, Bishop.
We can hear you.
No, I'm hearing you too. Bishop, Woman was asking if I'm muted. I said no. I just want the space to quieten that. Okay, so Pansa, secondly, you have come out again to repeat that old, outdated tune. Oh, Peter Obi won the election and they switched off the IREV. How does switching off the IREV, which is not a collating portal, which is just a viewing portal for the public, how does switching it out or the glitch, how does it affect the election result that was collected on Form CEC-8A? How? All your agents you went to court, and it is so sickening, so frustrating, nauseating, disgusting that we have supposedly educated people continue to rehash these things that have been settled by the highest court in the land. And I won't blame you if none other person than Peter Obi can shamelessly, even before international media, open his mouth to say, I won the election. Everybody knows. How do you say everybody knows that you won an election that was adjudicated by the highest court in the land? 12 justices, including the justices of the Supreme Court, the highest panel, none of them had a dissenting verdict. And you become openly to say everybody know Peter Obi won the election. Very, very insulting to the
Okay, can I respond to you on that?
Wait. I'm not asking you a question. I'm just taking you spoke. I kept quiet.
No.
Because
Only when you
sometimes
invoke
when I
somebody's
want to
name, you have
interject,
to.
It's my turn to talk.
one man
After
used
When
to
you
you
stop me
invoke
when I want
somebody's
to
name,
interject. But people interject and you
it's not
people
your place
interject
to
and
give that
flow
person a
forever.
chance,
Now you
right?
just wait.
I'm saying
You have
if I
spoken.
invoke your name, I'll give you time to respond. That's all.
No, when I wanted to interject, you
have
did
to be
not allow
courteous.
me. You did not.
Okay.
I'm
No,
not
go ahead.
quarreling you. I am just stating my own. Can we respect the platform and respect other Nigerians by limiting the kind of things we spew out that are not backed by any fact whatsoever? Can we just elevate, the quality of this our public engagement for once? You just threw things now. You have thrown things openly. Oh, he won by wide margin. People are listening. But you are justifying that 10,000 is a wide margin. Oh, you are saying that he won until they shut off the IRF. And how does shutting down the IRF or the glitch, how does it affect the collation of the result that was collated manually? And you went
Can
to
I answer that? It's a good question.
no,
Let me answer you.
it's a rhetorical
How
question.
it does.
When it is your time, use your turn. I waited for my turn now to use my turn to throw the question.
It's
You do
actually
not allow
Baba's
me to
turn, but
interject.
I'm not
You don't
firing the
allow me to
time.
interject when
It's
you were
not your
going on.
turn. It's not your
That's
turn.
by
It's
the way.
Baba's turn.
Now,
Right?
moving
After
on.
this, it will be Baba, then me,
Woman, can you
then
mute
you.
this gentleman? Can
No,
you
no.
mute him?
Baba, is that correct? It's actually your turn to speak, and then me, and then
Pansa, just let him. Hold on. Let him land, and then we're going to wake up. Let's not start. It's just going to get out of hand so quickly. So let Bishop land, and then we'll go to wake up.
I'm going to reiterate what I said earlier on. I really wish that we were going to dissect. For example, there was a policy discussed today. Yeah, Aisha Yusufu. Yeah, you can use it to entertain at the footnotes, at the opening time, the closing time when it is free. The minister we picked one thing out of that meeting, that press conference, that minister for, what's his name now? That we really had today. But listening and trying to go through some of the documents, the cocoa of the matter, the core of the matter that is supposed to dominate our public discourse were the things that the man enumerated in that press conference, challenging the figures, calling the figures to question on the issue of governance. If we interrogate those things, we can either praise him or call him out, or let's bring out the facts. Now, the second time is Tinubu presenting to us another manifesto. Are we going to be revisiting the 2003 manifesto, which I have and I've been reading? And I will say, to my admiration, that Tinubu has actually touched more than 75% of the things he campaigned with. More than 80% of them very fundamental, germane and fundamental issues that we are going to be spending hours and hours, sleepless time, to be talking about. He was indicted. It is criminal indictment. It is civil indictment. He has Guinean passport. He has this. What again? That they were. Somebody was saying earlier
Gold
on.
certificate.
Gold certificate. His hand they shake. His leg they shake. His something. His wife. He has wife. The one person died. He's not. That's going to be very tiring. So when we talk, honestly speaking, we should have a focus. Where do we want to educate people outside there so that they can ask relevant questions? Are we going to have a new manifesto? Are we going to dwell on the former manifesto? Can we bring the manifesto out and analyze that? Okay, 4 years after, let's do what do they call it now? Let's do a postmortem. Thank you, sir. Let's analyze all the points on that manifesto, one after the other, if it is going to take us 3 sections, so that you know whether, even me, I want to be convinced, I want to be reassured whether my conviction to continue to support Tinubu is not just by emotion or because it's Ngbati man, it's a Yoruba man. I want to be able to scrutinize that manifesto and say, okay, he's gone by about 50%, or he's 60%, he's 70%. Then people will be able to ask questions, very fundamental questions. And
Okay, can I ask you a question on that point right there? Just on that point.
I will land in a minute.
No, I'm going to ask you a question that you
I will land
use
in
to
a
land
minute.
now. Let's be stable here. The question is this. If you put in your trust in manifesto, right? One of the things that Tinubu said in the last cycle was that I'm going to give you electricity. If I don't vote for me.
Okay.
Don't vote for me.
So what's the question?
So the question is this. Since he didn't give us electricity,
okay,
let's assume that's an oral manifesto.
Okay.
Then we shouldn't vote for him. You wouldn't vote for him since he didn't give us electricity.
Are you done?
Right?
Can I answer you?
Answer that. Answer it.
So please don't interject me when I'm answering you. Number one, you have not quoted that, what do you call it, completely. Tinubu said, I will, by all means necessary and possible, I will give you electricity. If I don't give you electricity, don't vote for me. Except I have very cogent reason that I was not able to achieve it. Did you forget? Is this amnesia?
End of quote.
Is it amnesia that made you to forget that part? So that's one. Secondly, Tinubu had done what everybody. Currently, I live in Georgia. There are about 4 power generating companies and distribution companies in Georgia. They are independent of government. And I've been to several.
Okay, so if somebody gives you a manifesto,
now,
right?
I said,
and
wait,
they said
let
on
me
their
finish.
manifesto, just
Let
hold on
me
now.
finish. Oh my goodness. No, I'm not holding on for you. Come on, stop this.
Your time
Stop
will
this.
expire. Okay,
Stop this. Let me land.
Guys, just hold on.
Yeah, time will expire 1 minute.
Just hold on. Bishop, 2 more minutes and then we'll move on.
2 more minutes?
We have to, other people have to speak.
Well,
Now, so we can,
I have not spoken too.
I won't dispute that. Yeah, I know you have not spoken, but I won't dispute that. You just restricted that, but people were speaking. That's by the way. That's by the way. I've had you. I've had you. Don't worry. Let me just land in 1 minute. Let me land.
No, just hold on. You were not restricted. You had a good go before Pansat interjected you. And then you had guy, just hold on, please. You had a good go before Pansat interjected you. And then you had a good 3-4 minutes conversation with Pansat as well. So additionally, I'm giving you an additional 2 more minutes. So you've had a full-fledged of space to speak. So you are not restricted or constrained in any way. 2 more minutes, Bishop.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's continue the conversation. I yield.
All right.
2 minutes.
Bishop, let me just come to the defense of the president regarding electricity, right? The reality of electricity and its infrastructure, even if Nigeria had $100 billion ready to deploy to get our electricity from generation, from transmission and distribution going, there is no availability of, step down transformers, all these transmission infrastructure that you need to get them. In fact, what is happening now is that there is a backlog. Yes, there is a backlog in China. So if you were to order, for example, say some transformers that have high voltages, that handle high voltages, you are talking about 4-5 years, a latent period that you have to wait before you get it. And because of these AI data centers and all that, there is no way you're going to get it. And when something is scarce, those who have money actually outbid others. So there is no magic. It's not his fault. You can go ahead, that Baba.
Okay.
Okay, I was gonna say something.
Who has the floor, one man? Are you giving
1 minute, Baba. 1 minute, Baba. No, 1 minute, Baba. 1 minute, Baba. I want to speak to Madam Hassan. Madam Hassan, Kadaudi. Yeah.
Nada
Kwana be okay now.
Wallahi lafiya lau. Ya inda kake.
Talk muna lafiya. Yaushe ne zaka yi ne kofofi na hula na sali dan Borno. Tangana ne fa.
ko gobe kake so ai zan iya nema maka ai ba mai wahala bane kana sa manyan kaya ne
wallahi na so ne ko biyu ko uku.
to ba
ya isa
mu zaba maka ko zanna buka ko rawa.
Okay,
okay, yeah,
make I speak Igbo to AI now. Hold on, I need equal time to
Okay,
speak Igbo to AI. Hold on, equal time.
No, guy, just settle down. Let's wake up, speak, please. Wake
No,
up.
but
5
you just
minutes.
spoke Hausa for almost 5 minutes.
That
Good
was
evening,
Bishop
one
now.
man.
That
Good
was
evening,
Bishop.
one man.
Just let wake up,
Good evening,
speak.
one man. Good
Thank
evening,
you.
one man.
Yeah, good to you. Yeah, carry on. Yeah.
Yes, so I've listened to different people defending elections in
Wake up,
Nigeria.
please, a little bit louder.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, better now. Thank you.
I said I've listened to different panelists arguing about elections in Nigeria. If Pansat was making a case that the results of the election in Lagos, was reduced for Peter Obi, if he believes that that result was supposed to be more than that, or he won a landslide victory in Lagos, and his result was reduced, I wouldn't say yes. I wouldn't blame him for insinuating that or having that belief, because every election in Nigeria, has been rigged or was rigged since 1993. And if somebody now also says that, Peter Obi rigged his election in Southeast, right? I wouldn't dispute that, because politicians, do rig elections. And if you want to have a free and fair election, credible election, you have to limit human interaction with the voters and the vote itself. Until you can have that system, politicians will continue to rig elections on both sides. Peter Obi rigged in Southeast. And if Pansa is also claiming that they rigged Peter Obi out in Lagos, so be it. Elections have always been rigged. And 2027 election will not be different. People will rig on both sides. So I wouldn't want to argue about that, because it's something that I've lived through that experience when I was in Nigeria. I've seen election being rigged right there in my face. I've seen people participated in rigging election. So it's not new. It's not a news. It's not a breaking news. It's not new. Okay. But what I will say is that 2027, the results we saw in Lagos will be totally different. Peter Obi will not have up to, let's say, 30-40% of what he had, in 2023. So let's move on to the next topic. One man. I think you mentioned about maybe Osun election, how that will affect 2027. I don't know, maybe I heard that. And then
No, we did say, but what we did say about the Australian elections was that the video was saying about the resources deployed by the federal space to try and wrestle Australia for them. And then FARC has come out to talk about the resources deployed, about 40-50 billion naira by their court party, which is to say their delegates, to rig the election. So
yeah,
they just outrigged each other, didn't they? They just let you have
even
it.
one man, Deji Adeleke, Davido's father, is on record and told us they spent 50 billion. It's on record. Yeah, the father.
I said it. I said it a few days before the election that both parties were going to rig, or were going to try to rig the election, which is, it's a normal thing, it's a normal thing in Nigeria. But this is what I would say about the outcome of that election. I knew that Tinubu was supporting Adeleke and he was playing neutral, in that election. And the outcome of that election, in my own view, is a win for Tinubu 2027. Now he can bring both sides together and, they can give him over 1 million votes. Adeleke has already pledged his support for Tinubu for his re-election in 2027. And I know APC will also stand solidly behind him. So they will deliver, Osun State for our president. So that's what I can deduce from what happened in Osun, So both parties rigged, but I believe, well, in addition to rigging, in addition to Adeleke rigging that election, majority of the people naturally loved him, because I said it maybe a few weeks to the election that I spoke to someone on ground, and the person told me that they don't have any problem with the president, with Tinubu. They just wanted to keep their own Adeleke.
Wake up. Okay? A quick question for you. Is vote buying rigging?
Technically, it's rigging. I mean, you are influencing people as someone to go in a certain direction. So there's no neutrality in that aspect. When you persuade someone with something, or you induce someone to behave otherwise, I mean, that is rigging.
Okay, how are you sure when the person entered the cubicle, is the person stays alone there? How are you sure it's unprinted for you?
I mean, well, you are right. I mean, the person can, do otherwise. Yes. But we cannot negate the fact that the person has been induced with money, and his conscience, his or her conscience, has been affected by that gift. So if that gift was not present before the person goes and casts his or her vote, we will say that is free and fair. But because money has been, has been involved, and which will either swing the person to right or left, so you can conclude that money has something to do, or has something to do with the outcome of that person's vote.
But does that concern INEC, or is it within INEC's purview to mitigate against or legislate against or action it? Is it not security forces?
It concerns INEC to some extent. If INEC official spots someone who collects money from a politician or agent of a politician, and now goes ahead and casts his or her vote, that official can, because there's a law against that. So if they want to follow the law, INEC official can call a police officer who is present. They can call the person, that police officer's attention to a crime being committed, and that person, could be arrested. So yes,
I have a question for you. Wake up. If
right.
you know Wike, right? The minister in Abuja, right?
It's my guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he knows this administration and support this administration? Wike. Do you think he knows what he's talking about? If he says anything.
Oh, Wike is my man. If you fight Wike, you fight me. I believe Wike knows.
If Wike says,
if
Wike says, if the president wanted to win this election by all means, he would have sent me. Right?
Yeah, yes. Okay. If you need to listen to that guy in context, okay?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
He said election is not won in a day. If you want to win an election, you don't win it in one day. It's not a one-day event. Okay? You must have been planning towards it. You must have given it some time. You must have given your plan some time to germinate, to come into fruition. So, which means if Mr. President was actually determined to win that election, it will have sent someone like him and other people to go and maybe go to Osun and maybe negotiate, because one of the reasons why they lost that election was the fact that they denied Adeleke to come into APC. Adeleke was initially trying to join APC, but some folks in Osun denied that. They believed they could defeat him. That's number one reason. Number two reason, they disqualified Omishore, who was a very popular guy, I believe in Ife. They did not carry him along, and they did not reconcile with him, and he didn't work for APC. So that is also, that was a factor also, right? So you cannot say, what I'm trying to say is that there are many factors that contributed to that, to APC losing that election. And if Mr. President actually wanted to win it at all cost, it's going to bring to bear the power of the federal government, okay? They can cause trouble, they can do a lot of stuff, they can, they wouldn't care. They just want to grab it and take it, and they're going to take it. But we see from what happened in that election that even the security forces were very neutral. They were very neutral. They didn't interfere unnecessarily. They didn't do anything. They did no harm. So no federal might was deployed. Okay, you can see federal might physically.
How many governors were over there? Federal,
those are just politicians now. Those are politicians.
No, that's what I'm saying now. If you have that many governors go over there,
they said as many. They said as many as 15.
There were a lot of people that went over there. Now,
you've
been given a very good, aside from your last response, right? You're giving a good, at least better than average response, right? So I want to encourage you to keep doing that. But let me say this: if he says to Osun people, these are Yorubas, Southwesterners, proud people who made the country very proud. How they went out there, worked hard, voted for their favorite candidate, defended their vote. So you're going to have a Port Harcourt guy, right? A Port Harcourt local guy who is a minister in Abuja say to Osun people, hey, look, if this president wanted to win that election, they would have sent me over there. What does that say? How rude? That is so rude. That's so undemocratic.
No.
It's an observation of mine. That is what I think. I believe that it's
it's
not nice to say that. Now you have to know that Davido called Trump and says, you know what?
Davido called Trump.
Yes. Right?
He
said to Trump.
Oh, please.
Let me tell you, you could laugh. Did you know that Dangote and the Senate president were calling Davido to say, "Oh, please take down some tweets that."
Come on, don't bring this thing to a flaw something, please.
I'm saying
Dangote, let's listen. If you don't know these people.
Hold on, Baba.
Let me continue.
So you could continue, but what I'm saying is that I am saying that Tinubu did not do it out of his volition. He had serious pressure from the White House. If you rig it, you are gonna get it. That's what happened.
Oh, Pansa, okay.
Wake up, carry on, please. Leave him. Make it a dream.
Pansa, you got it wrong. Okay, if Tinubu wanted to rig that election, it would have.
Sorry, wake up.
And there's nothing that Trump would do about it. Okay?
Sorry, wake up. You carry on, but after wake up submission, we'll be taking the conversation to the back. I'm a bit tired. I need to go to bed. But if anybody wants to call me, you can still come in. But wake up, carry on. So thank you, everyone. Join us again tomorrow. As wake up carries on, comes to a crescendo, we'll take the conversation to the back. Carry on, wake up.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So I believe what Wiki was referring to, I believe it was referring to structure on ground. Okay. What we deliver vote for Tinubu in 2027 is the structure. Okay. And when we talk about structure, we are talking about from the local government, from the wards. You're talking about the councillor in your neighborhood. You're talking about all the chairmen. You're talking about the state honorables. You're talking about the federal honorables. You're talking about the senators. You're talking about the governors. Okay, those are the structures. And if you look at who has The most structure, in Nigeria now is APC, the political structure. They have the largest political structure in Nigeria. They have 32 governors, and some people even argue that it's 35 because Solodo is supporting Tinubu. He has publicly, show his support for Tinubu. Even Governor Hoti has even expressed his support for Tinubu. So some people even argue that, APC has more than 35 governors. Okay.
Who was the governor in Lagos State in 2023 and Imo State? Who were the governors and who won the states?
You see that 2023 is an anomaly because you
wake up, don't fall into that trap. Don't let him take you to 2023. We look forward. In another 4 months, we are in election.
Yes.
Please,
so now,
let's look forward.
Yeah. So now that they have unleashed all the presidential candidates to go all out and start campaigning, canvassing people for vote. You would think that Peter Obi and Atiku, you would think that they will, start talking about issues, issues that Nigerian people, want to hear about. You would think that they will start holding this president, to his record or to account. But instead of doing that, you see Atiku going to court, suing Tinubu, trying to disqualify someone, a sitting president. Who will disqualify a sitting president in a third world country? You cannot even disqualify Trump in a first world country. Go to Supreme Court.
Yeah, let's welcome Prince Daddy. Wake up. Peter Obi made a statement that's very important, and I want you to bear that in mind. He says this: in this 2027, anybody who doesn't count the vote, they're gonna count him. You understand? He doesn't talk that way unless there's something he means by that.
Oh my God!
So I want you to bear in mind that the election is not gonna be rigged. It's not.
Pansa, let me tell you something.
And I recall that statement. He's just going to throw a few young people under the bus.
No.
They are just
going to talk like that. He doesn't talk like that. He says he means it. If you don't count that vote, right? Listen to me. Look, I'm an Igbo man, right? When an Igbo man, conservative Igbo man like Peter Obi,
no, forget Igbo man.
Nobody says that. Not say what it means now.
Hold on.
So when you told us if Nnamdi Kanu is jailed, Nigeria will burn. Nigeria is still standing.
No.
Nnamdi Kanu, you guys don't talk about him anymore.
Did you know that there was a bombing in that caliphate where he's at, in that Sokoto, right? Let me tell you something. When you have,
don't forget
let's not go into Nnamdi Kanu. What I'm saying is this:
we will go there. We will go there because you told us here that the country will burn. They dare not jail him.
Baba, wait. I'm saying to you, when P2B says to you, they're going to count the votes. If they don't count our votes, we're going to count them, right? Mark that down today. Remember, I came here 2 weeks ago. I told you that Davido and his uncle is going to win that election. You won't listen. No matter what I say, you won't listen. Now, I told you.
We know.
All right.
I knew that.
One man, I thought you're gone.
No. We're going to actually shut it down after Wake Up lands. I just don't want him. I want him. I want
that. It's here. Let me.
But I have to go to bed at some point. So
let Baba moderate, and you just go ahead.
Yeah, right? But Baba is not able to shut it down. That's just. I don't mind anybody.
No, I choose to sleep anytime.
Yeah, it's just.
You want to sleep?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's always tomorrow. So yeah, carry on.
All right.
Yes, a few minutes. So we have marked that statement down. But Pastor, let me bust your bubble. Peter Obi doesn't have any power to enforce that statement. It doesn't have any power. Even Peter Obi will be the first to leave the country if
how to prove that to us? How? Why do you say that?
Peter Obi, he already told you that he doesn't like trouble. He's a coward.
No,